OMG, the developer preview of Android O has landed. Let's take a look at what's new. And
Uh-oh. We're back. We're back in the CNET cave, live with CNET Live, here with the posse. Across me, the lovely Lexy, Savvides.
Good morning.
Stephen Beacham running the show because he's Mr. Octopus, 8 arms. You only see 2 of them. You only see 2 of them, but he runs this show by himself. And our lovely producer, executive producer extraordinaire, in the corner. She doesn't want to be shown. Bonnie Gannon's in the house. All right. Welcome, everybody, to CNET Live. We are here to talk about Google I/O. We do want to start off and give you a nice, juicy picture from the Shoreline Amphitheater in Mountain View, where the keynote will be held at 10 a.m. We've got a cool hipster bouncing his head on the large screen. I think he's like doing something with like a tablet or a keyboard or a phone right there. He's playing some music. He's doing digital. He's doing digital music right there.
Apparently, it's absolutely insanely loud. That's what I'm hearing.
Is that what the reporters
That's what it was like last year.
Oh, you were there. That's right.
Last year I was there, and it was deafening. I was like, "What is this? I can't deal."
Wasn't there like a bird pooping incident
last
year
there
also?
was birds. There were birds flying around. So it's Shoreline Amphitheater in Mountain View. It's an open space. They have a lot of live concerts there. And there was an incident of several birds leaving their droppings
like
on
seagulls
top of people.
pooping on people, right? But you avoided that.
I did avoid it. It was good luck. I mean, it's supposed to be good luck, right? So
yes, everybody, welcome to the show this morning. We are here to talk about everything Google that we are expecting to see here. Obviously, the Google Assistant, in my mind, has got to be really the flagship thing that we see here amongst everything else for developer stuff. But we want you all to be a part of the show. How do you do that? All right. So there's many ways to interact and be a part of this shindig we call here CNET Live. First of all, call us. We want you to be a part of this. The number 1-888-900-CNET or 2638 or CNET.
CNET.
So 1-888-900-CNET. Call us. We have our lovely Danielle who will take your calls, put us on hold, and may put you on hold. And we need friends, okay? Actually,
please,
do you need
call us.
Yeah, just call us. We're just hanging out.
Friends.
Everybody needs a friend. So we want to hear, what you're expecting to see, what you want to see. If you have questions for us about Google I/O, we can do that. But let's kind of jump in here and talk about the Google Assistant. I think it's really the leading thing. They showed it off last year. We have it on the Pixel. It is, at the moment, in my mind, and probably yours still, the best virtual assistant out there right now. We have Google's hooks. What are some of the things that you're hoping to see, or just Google Assistant in general? What are your thoughts, Miss Lexy?
So last year at I/O, the assistant was revealed, as Brian said, and we saw an amazing demonstration of how you could have a seamless conversation with the assistant. So I think there was a family going about their everyday life, you know, just chilling in the kitchen, and they decided they want to go and see a movie. And so they had this conversation with the home and the assistant, where they could actually talk and say, hey, I want to go see this movie. What are some movie times? And it would respond, and it would say, who's starring in that, you know, movie?
Yep.
And actually, I want to book some tickets. If you try and do that with the assistant today, well, good luck.
You can't. You
can't. So I'm hoping that 1 year on, Google is going to show us something exciting about the assistant involving a more conversational approach, rather than having to go, okay, Google, tell me what movies are on near me. And then, Google Assistant will go, yeah, I don't have any answers for you. I don't understand your request, because that's what happens all the time when I use my Google Home.
The demo in Beach on the dock, I think it's actually the first video link. Sundar Pichai showed off how super conversational it was in a pre-made video where he first asked who's the director of The Revenant. It showed I can't remember the director's name off the top of my head. He showed the director. Then he said, what other movies has he directed? What about family movies? But it was a super organic way of talking. You can kind of get maybe one level in with Google Assistant, and it does a lot of other amazing things, but it wasn't nearly as conversational, as natural and organic as they showed in the demo. And that's what we're hoping to see. I think also with the Google Assistant, even though it is number one at the moment, obviously the AI space, virtual assistant space, there's tons of competition. We have Echo, we have Cortana, Siri's on the fringe, but they're going to work on it, but it's still on the fringe. And I think Google, whatever they do to show us the new hooks and the things that they have, they want to take another leap ahead. They don't want to be part of that pack there. They need to show us another jump because they have the lead.
Definitely. Well, you missed Bixby on that
list.
list.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're right. Yeah, Bixby as well.
I mean, even though on the S8, obviously, we're not getting that entire full functionality that we were promised, it's still something that's coming. And Samsung's invested heavily in Viv, that other virtual assistant that's very conversational and very supposedly intelligent in that way. So Google really needs to step up their game. And also, I have to say, this I/O has been the fewest rumors beforehand. So in terms of us kind of having a concrete idea of what's coming from Google, there have been hardly any leaks on the bandwagon. So that's one of two things. Either Google's got really good in locking down all of their leaks, or there's not going to be anything interesting. I hope it's the former. I really hope it's the former.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Google I/O, and then Beach, can you leave the number on the bottom? We had someone call, but then they just dropped off. So if you guys and gals that are watching want to join us in conversation, you can. The other thing about the Google Assistant is how it relates to the home. Last year, we saw the home actually debut at Google I/O. I really don't think they necessarily have to release a new piece of hardware. We've seen how the Echo itself is the same, at least the original Echo, the tall, larger one, the 179 one, is still the same form factor. They actually haven't updated anything. They came out with the Echo Dot and now the Echo Look and the Echo Show. So they have a whole family of stuff that, quite honestly, serves different purposes. I don't think we really need to see a new Google Home. We just need to see advancements to the Assistant. They've already improved the Assistant on the Google Home to be able to support up to 6 users. Recognize, for the most part, I don't think anyone's really thoroughly tested enough to be how well does it really make a distinction between 6 different people on a day-to-day basis. That would be something that maybe a tech website that makes videos could possibly do.
I want to experiment and see
who could do that.
I want to try and fool it with different accents.
No, yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing.
Something
I want
like
to
that.
see if it can understand me doing an American accent or you doing an Australian accent.
Exactly.
Vice versa, whatever. I think it would be fun.
I could do Bill Detweiler's accent if he's watching. He's from our Kentucky team. But I won't. But yeah, he will not like that.
No,
he'll like it. So Google Home, again, this is going to be all about the Assistant. But another thing is that, and now the phone lines are completely filled, so we will get to those. This is awesome.
Yeah.
We're just going to get Danielle to jump on those. But another thing about just the Google Assistant is Sundar Pichai has made it clear that they want this Assistant to be everywhere.
This is really interesting.
Appliances. Obviously, the phone, the Pixel is kind of its debut. And it was a successful debut, but it can get better, like we talked about. Appliances, they just made a deal with GE that's going to be packed in there into their appliances. But beyond that, we can talk TVs, cars. I mean, this is the future everyone's talking about is AI. So are there any other devices that, that you'd like to see it in or whatnot?
Well, funnily enough, because of one of the rumors that we do have is that maybe the assistant is coming to iOS. Now, this would be a big deal if we start. I mean, Google has traditionally been really good in pushing out things to iOS first, such as the Gboard, the Google keyboard. Allo got a bunch of, not Allo. There was some other chat apps from Google like Duo that kept features
Duo out
first.
there as well.
Everything is pretty much cross-platform on Google, so they're not too worried about keeping everything locked into the Android world, unlike Apple, who tries to keep everything in the iOS world. So I think it's a possibility that we might see the assistant on iOS devices. I don't know exactly how it would work, and I don't know if this is going to be the unveiling of it, but I know Google is very much open to the idea. And as you were saying before, Sundar has talked about having the assistant across multiple devices. Maybe iOS is one of them. I would love to hear from you guys. If you think that the assistant is something that's likely to come to iOS, Apple devices, let us know. Give us a call. Jump on the hashtag CNET Live.
Hashtag CNET Live.
Yeah. And also, we have to talk about the most important thing that is going to be possibly revealed today, which is the name of Android O.
Android O. Oh. Don't loop that in any type of GIF. And send it to me on Twitter, all right? Oh,
loop it and send it to him, please.
All right. So you know what? Let's get to some calls because we've got a bunch on the line. Let's see what we've got here. I'm just gonna take this live. Welcome to CNET Live. This is Brian and Lexy and Steven. Who are we talking to?
Hi, my name is Justin.
What up, Justin? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Arizona. You don't know, I'm like big fans. Like, oh my gosh, this is so surreal.
Yay!
Justin,
thanks for calling, Justin.
Round of applause, my man. This is surreal. This is so real to me, but surreal to you. You know what I'm saying? So what's up? Let's talk.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's in your brain?
Okay, what's in my brain? So my question is, you would think they will show a Google Pixel 2, and what features would you want there?
Okay, so I hate to break it to you. They could surprise us. Again, Lexi alluded to the fact that there really have been very few leaks here about the the announcement here. So that's exciting. And it really is a developer conference for software. But if you follow along to kind of what they did last year, they showed off, the latest flavor of Android. They showed off the assistant, but they revealed the Pixel in like September, October-ish. I think it was October.
Yeah.
And so our hunch is really that they're probably going to do the same thing. People that have watched my stuff, I was a huge fan of the Pixel. I mean, it's my work phone. The other thing about it is it was Google's first entry into the phone world, and they came out strong with the best camera in the industry and the best virtual assistant. So by having those two leading edge techs in their phone, I've got to hope that they still keep those edges intact, work on the form factor even more. But again, I don't expect us to see anything here at Google I/O.
I think it's unlikely that we'll see hardware in terms of the Pixel 2. I mean, there have been speculation about what it might possibly have, obviously a faster processor. I would like to see Google start to integrate some of their Tango technology into their own phones rather than having other manufacturers like Lenovo and Asus trying to put it in other phones. Like we have the Fab 2 Pro and there's the other Asus Zen phone on the market. They're the only two Tango-enabled phones, and I know Google's trying to be pushing Tango quite a lot. But Justin, I want to know, like, if there was a Pixel 2 being announced today, what sort of features would you want to see?
Did he hang up?
Oh.
Did we lose you, Justin? Oh, say it ain't so.
I think something's going on with our phone lines, but I'm gonna take the next call and see what we got here.
About the fact that Google right now has Allo, it has Hangouts, and also has Google Voice to send text messages or use your phone to as a text.
Ooh, he dropped out too.
It's okay. It's
We
okay.
dropped out.
Let's
Stand
go
by.
here. Let's go here. Hold on one sec. We have someone holding. Welcome to CNET Live. This is Brian, Lexy, and Steven. What's going on?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
What question you have for us? Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Noah. I'm calling from England right now.
Woo! We like that.
Excellent.
What's your question?
Yeah, I want to know if they're going to bring Android Assistant to iPhone.
Well, that's the rumor.
Yeah.
We know that the Google app is on the iPhone. There's plenty of people, including our own Stephen Beecham, who use the Google app for your search, right?
Constantly, all the time.
On your iPhone.
Yeah, and I used to use Google now all the time also. It was very helpful.
So to us, it's just seeing how historically Google has built apps and developed for the Apple platform, and knowing that, come on, you can't ignore the fact that there's this huge iOS community, hundreds of millions of users. It's going to get there. We have heard the rumor it might show up here. It would be smart for it to. So most likely, yes, but we'll see.
Yeah, so it would be really cool if there was a way to get it to be used outside the app if they're able to negotiate some contract with Apple.
That would be a dream come true if Apple would be like, hey, Google, why don't you just take over Siri instead? Like, right? You can choose your default search engine. Why don't you choose your default voice assistant? But unfortunately, the way that Apple works is that will never happen because Apple is all about their platform. They had built Siri for a reason. If you recall, Siri was really the first virtual assistant on any phone. That was a thing that they made. Like, we're proud of this. It never developed that much more. It's getting hooks into third-party apps finally. How many years later from the 4S till now? So we'll see how that all shakes out. But thanks so much for calling, all right?
Thank you so much.
All right, appreciate it. Okay, bye. We'll see ya. All right, we're going to take, is Scott on the line right now?
Scott is on the line, but he needs to turn on his video.
Okay, so I'm going to.
There he is. Turn on your video, Scott.
Hey.
Hey, Scott, can you hear us?
What happened?
He's saying it is.
Your video's on. I don't see you.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I got you now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Scott Stein
In the
fixing his hair from Mountain View.
Fixing my hair.
Yeah, just make sure the coif. Hey, I make sure the coif is tight. You make sure the coif is tight. All right.
Oh,
There's Andrew Gebhardt.
Hey.
So from our smart home team, Andrew Gebhardt over there. There's Richard Nivea, and is that Jess? And
that's Jessica. I'm pointing,
Scott,
indicating.
Scott's here.
Who is who? I'm here, and Google I/O is here. We've got a big amphitheater full of stuff, and behind me is the collaborative bubble making app experience. There's always something like that. You can log in and you can add bubbles.
Add bubbles.
Is this what she's doing right now? She's doing the bubbles on her phone, huh? We're seeing it happen live on a.
Oh my
more
gosh,
high-res
this
camera.
is
Wow.
like
Look at all these people doing bubbles.
Wow.
These are like fans from the Warriors game yesterday. They were so bored at that 36-point blowout, they were just on their phones. I saw that. I was there. That's what
bubble
happened.
time. We're gonna do the wave soon, I'm sure. It's like the new wave. There's a lawn back there. People can sit all the way back on the lawn if you want to. And the bubbles, I don't know, last year was like paper airplanes. There's also trance music. There's like live kind of trancey music that's really loud.
Nice. What about the birds, Scott? Have there been any incidences? Last year at I/O, there were a lot of birds flying around and a lot of unexpected droppings happening. Is that happening this year?
So above me right now is a large canopy.
Oh!
that canopy is where
Nicely
the
done.
birds dropped their poop. That was a poop zone last year, and it's right above us right now. And it's bird free, so that's really good news. That's the best news. We don't know if the birds are put off by the trance or whether they're going to return when it gets a little warmer during the keynote and surprise us with pellets.
Well,
but
nice work.
it's all part of the I/O magic. It's a surprise.
Hey,
it's
Scott.
Tom so far.
Real quick, your phone is kind of breaking up, but so we want to kind of get your thoughts in just because it's a little harder to hear. Anything that you feel we've talked about in here, but kind of the thing that will stand out the most at Google I/O in your opinion?
Sure. So I think obviously we're going to hear a lot about Android, but I think beyond that, how Google is attacking AI, that is a continually interesting and globally of interest thing that Google is involved in. Machine learning, AI, what they're going to do with it, how will it affect their apps, how will it affect things like everything from YouTube to cameras to smart home stuff. So that's interesting, and I'm curious about VR and AR. I know it's died down a bit this year, but Google has a lot of investments in virtual reality, even beyond Daydream. Also AR. They have that Tango camera, and they also are maybe going to blend those into things kind of like HoloLens. So what's going on with that? We're going to hear a little bit today, and there's a whole keynote tomorrow just about VR and AR. And then, again, like what's going on with Android? What's going on with after Android, like Google Assistant? You know, is Google Assistant going to, and the post-app world, going to replace what we do with Android, or is Google going to continue spreading onto other devices that are not just Android? You know, iPhones and you know, browsers and all the other things that they do. So that's the most interesting stuff to me. Maybe we'll see some other crazy things like robots. I don't know. You never know.
There's always that interesting area, though, at I/O that has all the experimental developers that are working on crazy stuff. You probably haven't got to see it yet, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone's been doing, the experimental crazy stuff over at Google I/O. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully you can do a Facebook Live or something, take us through there a bit later on in the day.
Yeah, we'll connect. After this, it all dumps into a crazy like festival area, a lot of sandboxes. And like Lexy was saying, it's like it could be anything. So sometimes it's art projects, sometimes it's like demoing apps, and we don't know. So that's going to be like later today and the days to come. So it'll be really fun. We'll definitely tune in with all the weird. And tonight with some of the weird stuff from the party, including whatever musical performances, light shows, and experimental things they might have.
Wasn't it like a rave last year or something like that?
Something like that.
It was like EDM. It was like Google
juggling.
EDM. Yeah.
We were hula hooping. There was like a pirate ship struck with a klezmer band type thing. There was a tango-equipped shooting game where it was like a virtual arcade. There was a trance-y type meditation room with VR where you could create art. I tried to create art, and then I was not supposed to be on stage. I got asked to please get off the stage.
Denied.
So,
Yikes.
denied. Do not go there. Yeah, I didn't know. I think Jessica told me to do that, so it was her fault.
All right. Well, hey Scott, thanks so much for calling in, and buckle in. You'll be starting in about 10 more minutes, so we'll be good to go. And thanks for all all your work and dedication.
Thank you for all your work and dedication, and we'll be tweeting a lot and covering it. So stay tuned.
We're just gonna hug this out, okay?
I know. I love you.
You want to here? Give us an hug. Give us an hug, Scott. Oh. Very. Yeah, that is actually where my head nestles in your neck when we hug.
Is that okay?
It's totally okay.
It's like, it's kind of awkward.
It's 2017. That is totally okay. Nothing wrong
the
whatsoever.
Neck area seemed
it's
safe.
comfy. It's comfy. It's good. All right, Scott. Appreciate it, bro.
Bye, Scott.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, there you go. Scott Stein in the house. We're going to jump in. We're having a few issues with the phone line, so if you called and you were dropped, come back in. We're working it out, so we have a bunch of calls in here. We're sorry to Justin, who got cut off a little earlier.
Yeah.
But, bro, we got nothing but love for you, okay? So let's get jumping in here. We're going to take this next call. Mr. Channing, welcome to the show. You're on CNET Live.
Hi, Brian.
What's up? Well, you're here with Lexy and Steven. If you turn the volume of your computer down a little bit, then you'll be able to hear us, and then we can just jump right into it. Are you good to go?
Yeah. Do you think we'll see any Chromebook features?
That'll be... And you know what? It remains to see how much of Chrome OS they'll even show us. There has been, quite honestly, not much buzz around it at all leading into Google I/O. I know that we're hearing a lot about AI. We'll see, because also the Chromebook space, great for education. It hasn't necessarily taken off in the consumer space, and this is a developer place. I gotta imagine they have all these kind of separate developer workshops that they most likely might even show more there than they will at Google I/O. But this is a good reason to tune in, because we don't know if they'll actually show off anything related to Chrome OS or how much they'll show.
And Microsoft recently announced a bunch of education laptops, like the Surface laptop, that is basically going to try and take over some of that Chromebook market that was in education. So I think Google obviously has this on their radar. I don't know, as Brian said, if we're going to see it today, but stay tuned, because you never know what they're going to surprise us with during the keynote.
All right, Channing?
Yeah, can I talk to Bridget Carey?
You could if she was here. She's in New York, so we'll send her. She's probably watching, and if you have a personal message for her, this is your time. Like, you will never get another chance. So what would you like to say to her?
That she's awesome.
Channing,
We'll pass
you're
it
awesome.
on. Yes.
You're
funny.
You're awesome.
Show.
You're awesome.
Okay.
All right, Channing, thanks.
Doing the Apple Bite on Thursday.
Oh, always, bro. I'll be there for you. I'm going to give you a shout out, all right? To my boy Channing.
Okay.
We'll catch you later, man, okay? Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, let's go over here. We've got Richie in Belize. Is that correct, Richie? Are you playing with us?
No, I'm from Belize.
Wow.
Wow. Awesome.
I guess it is. That makes sense. This is this thing called the internet, the
That's true.
World Wide Web.
It's spread far and wide.
Wait, this is Brian?
This is Brian. Can you tell?
Oh my gosh, man. I mean, it's been my dream to talk to you in person, man.
Richie, let's get before this gets awkward between us. What?
Right.
Yeah, I know. You know, we got to keep it cool, right? Google I/O. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I just want to know exactly what's going to happen. Software-wise, we'll probably see something new, the new updates. But apart from that, any new changes, like anything new, anything, or any rumors are going to just pop up out of nowhere, So I'm just skeptical on whether I should go to Google or not.
Oh, so are you telling me that you're an iOS user and you want to jump over, but you're just not sure what they're going to show you that is convincing enough for you? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, that's where I am. I'm using the iPhone 7 Plus, and I saw the Google Pixel, but it looks okay, but I'm not convinced. So I just want to know if maybe what they're going to unveil today is going to convince me to switch to Google.
Well, I'll let Lexy lead with this, and then see if I'll pick up the scraps.
Well, let's see. Obviously, I mentioned a little before that Google is starting to bring a lot of features across to iOS. So maybe you don't even need to transition if you want just features like possibly the Assistant. You have access to all of the Google Chat apps, Hangouts, Duo, Allo, the Google Keyboard, the Google Search app, the Google app itself, everything you could probably want in terms of a software side from Google, you can pretty much get on iOS. Now, it comes down to the hardware, and we saw the Pixel totally smash the iPhone 7 when it comes to the camera quality, the hardware itself in terms of the physical form factor. I wasn't a huge fan of the Pixel when I first handled it, but it's definitely grown on me. Brian's pointing to it. He's in love with it. He's in love with it.
I think it's a great
Pixel.
phone.
It's a really nice feeling phone. It definitely grew on me, and that blue color. Oh, I love it.
And it was their first phone, for the record. Google's first actual, designed. Like their second one is gonna be sick. I think they're gonna surprise. But continue on. I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, that was pretty much my thought. I want to hear what you think in terms of transitioning. Is Google going to reveal something that's going to make Apple users go, yeah, I'm going Android. I'm going Android.
No. You know what it is this is really more of a developers conference anyways. So this is all about software. I like developer conferences because it tends to show us the stuff that we'll actually be able to do. Hardware is always hardware. It really comes down to the platform you align with. And like Lexy said, you could basically Google out your iPhone, if you wanted to. Your mail, right? You can live in the Google ecosystem while being in the Apple ecosystem. That's one of those rare instances where it actually works. I think if you might be, some people, let's be honest, get bored of iOS. And I've got to tell you, the Android, once they went to material design, it is flatter, but it just feels really clean. It's just a really clean OS that I enjoy, and so I think they can show us more things like that. They've already rolled out, the developer preview, Android O. We'll see more of that today. I think all the secrets are really there. I don't know if they're going to give us much more.
I think there'll probably be actual demonstrations of some of the features they announced. For example, Android O, one of the big things is picture-in-picture, and we didn't see that on the developer preview. I loaded that onto a Nexus phone, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to play with picture-in-picture. No, it doesn't work. So hopefully we're going to see some actual demonstrations of that and a few little nuggets of extra surprises. I'm looking forward to seeing how they kind of get us excited about Android O, because really the big thing is it's going to improve your battery life. Yeah. And that's not sexy. I mean, it is. It's important, but it's not like, wow, I can have this amazing demonstration and look, everybody, my battery lasted the whole day. Like,
it's like, if you're going to impress me with battery life, it needs to be 2-day battery life, not 1 day. Double that, baby. So, Richie, I don't know if we answered your question, but I feel like, look, the next iPhone is coming out in the fall. The Pixel 2 is coming out in the fall. So you got decisions to make, bro.
Yeah, I know. I mean, at this point, I'm very reliant on the rumors that are going around. I mean, the iPhone 8, it sounds like a dream phone, but I also want to see what Google has up their sleeve. What are their plans and what are their goals to meet and to win more customers for their ecosystem.
Yep. Good man. Keep your mind open with tech. I think it's funny when people accuse me of being paid off by both Samsung and Apple.
You're paid off by everybody.
I'm still trying to figure that out because my wallet ain't getting bigger from either of those two companies. Let me tell you right now. All right, thanks for calling, Richie. We appreciate it. Take care and Belize. All right.
All right, no problem.
Thank you. Okay, so right now, time check. The keynote is expected to start in a couple minutes. We have literally 4 calls on the line. We've gotten the call situation figured out. I'm going to jump over to Travis right now. He's been waiting the longest. Sorry. No, I didn't.
Hung up on
I
it.
pressed the wrong thing. Travis and Maryland, what's up, my man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling. Me, Lexy, Steven in the house. What do you want to talk about? Hopefully, we'll get you in before the keynote starts.
Okay, great. Just 2 quick things. Do you think that Google will ever come up with a new tablet this year, or perhaps talk about one? And also, do you think that we will get a snippet of how Android O will handle fragmentation?
First of all, 2 great questions. In regards to the tablet, we know they have the Pixel C. My hunch, just based on how the tablet industry is, I don't know if there's necessarily a compelling reason for them to just all of a sudden, here's our newest tablet. I think the Pixel C is more than capable. It has the great, kind of the keyboard case setup that you can use. I just don't, because the tablet market hasn't grown anymore and it just continues to decline. I don't know if it makes sense for companies if they have a good enough tablet to release a new one. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. And on the fragmentation front, that's a really interesting question. Android's had a lot of problems, obviously, and they've acknowledged this over the years with fragmentation across devices. If you just have a look at how many people are currently running Nougat, it's like 3% or
really
something
low.
really low.
It's under 10. It's definitely under 10.
It's definitely under 10. So Google has a lot of work to do. I don't know if necessarily Android O is going to be able to address it in terms of kind of one whiz-bang feature that's going to do that, because I think it's really going to be something about that Google has to kind of band all the manufacturers together in order to get fragmentation to not be as big of an issue. It's a really massive problem. Yeah, good luck.
It's just the nature of how Android was, and it's why Android is the largest, platform on phones, because they were able to get into so many developers. I just think it's kind of the blessing and the curse of the direction that you choose. That no matter what, like you said, Nougat is less than 10%, right? That's pretty low for a phone platform to be up to date, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Even with Android O, all Google's doing is we want to show you the new stuff. You need new hardware to run this new stuff, and Android's on phones that are still being used from 5-6 years ago that'll never run Nougat. So I just think the nature of what they've accomplished to get it out there, it's going to always be fragmented. Even the carrier relationships.
Oh, yeah.
To get it on the latest phone at the same time that Google releases it makes it hard. And I think because Google got into the phone game with the Pixel, they're trying to get people to really get a Pixel phone.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think if you jump on that side of the hardware and you're like, you know what, Samsung, I love the look, but I want something that I can update all the time and be on top of it, I think they're really trying to push the hardcore Android users to get a Pixel phone for this coming year. So that's where we're at. All right, Travis, thanks so much for calling, my man. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
You too. All right, how are we doing with the keynote? Is it started yet, or they're still?
We see a picture. We see nothing else.
Okay, so then no one's on stage talking at the moment?
Not yet.
Okay, so again, you'll stick with us. We will show the live stream of Google I/O. After the show, we will be back. People are still standing up, so it looks like nothing has started yet. We're going to take another call here, and if we have to jump into it, we will jump into it. We've been patiently waiting. Jari, what's up, Jari?
This is Jair. Yes.
Jair. I'm sorry, Jair. Welcome to the show. Get us your question because we want to make sure we get in before the keynote starts.
No problem. So the only question I have is about the Duo application versus Hangout versus Allo.
Yeah.
Do you think that Google will do a better move on trying to centralize this application into one that will do best?
The word you use exactly is centralize it. They need to do that. I think their Hangouts product, though, has turned out more into kind of like their version of Slack. So I think they're going to keep that separate. We'll see if Google's Duo and Allo combine, but we'll see. We might find out about that today. So we're going to jump into the keynote. Looks like they're starting it. Jair, thanks for calling, and we will be back after this to wrap things up with CNET Live. Lexy in the house, Stephen Beecham. We'll see you. Call back then, all right?
No problem, Riggedy Tong.
All right, take care.
Man.
I hear you talking, all right. I hear you talking, all right. Oh, I've been thinking about my life. What's been wrong and what's been right? Some said that, some said this, some said no, some said yes. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right.
Good morning. Welcome to Google I/O. I love you guys too. Can't believe it's 1 year already. It's a beautiful day. We're being joined by over 7,000 people, and we are live streaming this, as always, to over 400 events in 85 countries. Last year was the 10th year since Google I/O started, and so we moved it closer to home at Shoreline, back where it all began. Seems to have gone well. I checked the Wikipedia entry from last year. There were some mentions of sunburn, so we have plenty of sunscreen all around. It's on us. Use it liberally. It's been a very busy year since last year, no different from my 13 years at Google. That's because we've been focused ever more on our core mission of organizing the world's information, and we are doing it for everyone, and we approach it by applying deep computer science and technical insights to solve problems at scale. That approach has served us very, very well. This is what has allowed us to scale up 7 of our most important products and platforms to over 1 billion monthly active users each. And it's not just the scale at which these products are working. Users engage with them very heavily. YouTube not just has over 1 billion users, but every single day, users watch over 1 billion hours of videos on YouTube. Google Maps, every single day, users navigate over 1 billion kilometers with Google Maps. So the scale is inspiring to see, and there are other products approaching this scale. We launched Google Drive 5 years ago, and today it is over 800 million monthly active users, and every single week there are over 3 billion objects uploaded to Google Drive. 2 years ago, at Google I/O, we launched Photos as a way to organize users' photos using machine learning. And today, we are over 500 million active users, and every single day, users upload 1.2 billion photos to Google. So the scale of these products are amazing, but they're all still working up their way towards Android, which I'm excited, as of this week, we crossed over 2 billion active devices of Android. As you can see, the robot is pretty happy too behind me. So it's a privilege to serve users at this scale. And this is all because of the growth of mobile and smartphones. But computing is evolving again. We spoke last year about this important shift in computing from a mobile-first to an AI-first approach. Mobile made us reimagine every product we were working on. We had to take into account that the user interaction model had fundamentally changed with multi-touch, location, identity, payments, and so on. Similarly, in an AI-first world, we are rethinking all our products and applying machine learning and AI to solve user problems. And we are doing this across every one of our products. So today, if you use Google Search, we rank differently using machine learning. Or if you're using Google Maps, Street View automatically recognizes restaurant signs, street signs, using machine learning. Duo with video calling uses machine learning for low bandwidth situations. And Smart Reply in Allo last year had great reception. And so today, we are excited that we are rolling out Smart Reply to over 1 billion users of Gmail. It works really well. Here's a sample email. If you get an email like this, the machine learning systems learn to be conversational, and it can reply, "I'm fine with Saturday," or whatever. So it's really nice to see. Just like with every platform shift, how users interact with computing changes. Mobile brought multi-touch. We evolved beyond keyboard and mouse. Similarly, we now have voice and vision as two new important modalities for computing. Humans are interacting with computing in more natural and immersive ways. Let's start with voice. We've been using voice as an input across many of our products. That's because computers are getting much better at understanding speech. We have had significant breakthroughs, but the pace, even since last year, has been pretty amazing to see. Our word error rate continues to improve, even in very noisy environments. This is why, if you speak to Google on your phone or Google Home, we can pick up your voice accurately, even in noisy environments. When we were shipping Google Home, we had originally planned to include 8 microphones so that we could accurately locate the source of where the user was speaking from. But thanks to deep learning, we use a technique called neural beamforming, we were able to ship it with just 2 microphones and achieve the same quality. Deep learning is what allowed us, about 2 weeks ago, to announce support for multiple users in Google Home, so that we can recognize up to 6 people in your house and personalize the experience for each and every one. So voice is becoming an important modality in our products. The same thing is happening with vision. Similar to speech, we are seeing great improvements in computer vision. So when we look at a picture like this, we are able to understand the attributes behind the picture. We realize it's your boy in a birthday party. There was cake and family involved, and your boy was happy. So we can understand all that better now. And our computer vision systems now, for the task of image recognition, are even better than humans. So it's astounding progress, and we're using it across our products. So if you use the Google Pixel, it has the best-in-class camera, and we do a lot of work with computer vision. You can take a low-light picture like this, which is noisy, and we automatically make it much clearer for you. Or coming very soon, if you take a picture of your daughter at a baseball game and there is something obstructing it, we can do the hard work, remove the obstruction, and have the picture of what matters to you in front of you. We are clearly at an inflection point with vision, and so today we are announcing a new initiative called Google Lens. Google Lens is a set of vision-based computing capabilities that can understand what you're looking at and help you take action based on that information. We'll ship it first in Google Assistant and Photos, and it'll come to other products. So how does it work? So for example, if you run into something and you want to know what it is, say a flower, you can invoke Google Lens from your assistant, point your phone at it, and we can tell you what flower it is. It's great for someone like me with allergies. Or if you've ever been at a friend's place and you've crawled under a desk just to get the username and password from a Wi-Fi router, you can point your phone at it. And we can automatically do the hard work for you. Or if you're walking in a street downtown and you see a set of restaurants across you, you can point your phone, because we know where you are and we have our knowledge graph and we know what you're looking at, we can give you the right information in a meaningful way. As you can see, we are beginning to understand images and videos. All of Google was built because we started understanding text and web pages. So the fact that computers can understand images and videos has profound implications for our core mission. When we started working on search, we wanted to do it at scale. This is why we rethought our computational architecture. We designed our data centers from the ground up, and we put a lot of effort in them. Now that we are evolving for this machine learning and AI world, we are rethinking our computational architecture again. We are building what we think of as AI-first data centers. This is why last year we launched the Tensor Processing Units. They're custom hardware for machine learning. They were about 15 to 30 times faster and 30 to 80 times more power efficient than CPUs and GPUs at that time. We use TPUs across all our products. Every time you do a search, every time you speak to Google. In fact, TPUs are what powered AlphaGo in its historic match against Lee Sedol. As you know, machine learning has two components. Training, that is how we build a neural net. Training is very computationally intensive. And inference is what we do at real time, so that when you show it a picture, we recognize whether it's a dog or a cat and so on. Last year's TPU were optimized for inference. Training is computationally very intensive. To give you a sense, each one of our machine translation models takes a training of over 3 billion words for a week on about 100 GPUs. So we've been working hard, and I'm really excited to announce our next generation of TPUs, cloud TPUs, which are optimized for both training and inference. What you see behind me is one cloud TPU board. It has 4 chips in it, and each board is capable of 180 trillion floating point operations per second. And we have designed it for our data centers so you can easily stack them. You can put 64 of these into one big supercomputer. We call these TPU pods, and each pod is capable of 11.5 petaflops. It is an important advance in technical infrastructure for the AI era. The reason we named it Cloud TPU is because we are bringing it through the Google Cloud Platform. So cloud TPUs are coming to Google Compute Engine as of today. We want Google Cloud to be the best cloud for machine learning. And so we want to provide our customers with a wide range of hardware, be it CPUs, GPUs, including the great GPUs NVIDIA announced last week, and now cloud TPUs. So this lays the foundation for significant progress. So we are focused on driving the shift and applying AI to solving problems. At Google, we are bringing our AI efforts together under google.ai. It's a collection of efforts and teams across the company focused on bringing the benefits of AI to everyone. google.ai will focus on 3 areas: state-of-the-art research, tools and infrastructure like TensorFlow and cloud TPUs, and applied AI. So let me talk a little bit about these areas. Talking about research, we are excited about designing better machine learning models, but today it is really time-consuming. It's a painstaking effort of a few engineers and scientists, mainly machine learning PhDs. We want it to be possible for hundreds of thousands of developers to use machine learning. So what better way to do this than getting neural nets to design better neural nets? We call this approach AutoML. It's learning to learn. So the way it works is we take a set of candidate neural nets, think of these as little baby neural nets, and we actually use a neural net to iterate through them till we arrive at the best neural net. We use a reinforcement learning approach. And the results are promising. To do this is computationally hard, but cloud TPUs put it in the realm of possibility. We are already approaching state-of-the-art in standard tasks like CFAR image recognition. So whenever I spend time with the team and think about neural nets building their own neural nets, it reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Inception. And I tell them, we must go deeper. So we are taking all these AI advances and applying them to newer, harder problems across a wide range of disciplines. One such area is healthcare. Last year, I spoke about our work on diabetic retinopathy. It's a preventable cause of blindness. This year, we published our paper in the Journal of American Medical Association, and Verily is working on bringing products to the medical community. Another such area is pathology. Pathology is a very complex area. If you take an area like breast cancer diagnosis, even amongst highly trained pathologists, agreement on some forms of breast cancer can be as low as 48%. That's because each pathologist is reviewing the equivalent of 1,000 10-megapixel images for every case. This is a large data problem, but one which machine learning is uniquely equipped to solve. So we built neural nets to detect cancer spreading to adjacent lymph nodes. It's early days, but our neural nets show a much higher degree of accuracy, 89% compared to previous methods of 73%. There are important caveats. We do have higher false positives, but already giving this in the hands of pathologists, they can improve diagnosis. In general, I think this is a great approach for machine learning, providing tools for people to do what they do better. And we are applying it across even basic sciences. Take biology. We are training neural nets to improve the accuracy of DNA sequencing. Deep Variant is a new tool from google.ai that identifies genetic variants more accurately than state-of-the-art methods. Reducing errors is important applications. We can more accurately identify whether or not a patient has genetic disease and can help with better diagnosis and treatment. We're applying it to chemistry. We're using machine learning to predict the properties of molecules. Today, it takes an incredible amount of computing resources to hunt for new molecules, and we think we can accelerate timelines by orders of magnitude. This opens up possibilities in drug discovery or material sciences. I'm entirely confident one day AI will invent new molecules that behave in predefined ways. Not everything we are doing is so profound. We are doing even simple and fun things, like a simple tool which can help people draw. We call this auto draw. Just like today, when you type in Google, we give you suggestions. We can do the same when you're trying to draw. Even I can draw with this thing. So it may look like fun and games, but pushing computers to do things like this is what helps them be creative and actually gain knowledge. So we are very excited about progress even in these areas as well. So we are making impressive progress in applied machine learning, and we are applying it across all our products. But the most important product we are using this is for Google Search and Google Assistant. We are evolving Google Search to being more assistive for our users. This is why last year at Google I/O, we spoke about the Assistant, and since then, we've launched it on Google Pixel and Google Home, and today it's available on over 100 million videos. Scott and team are going to talk more about it, but before that, let's take a look at the many amazing ways people have been using the Google Assistant.
Okay, Google. Hey, Google.
Hey, Google.
Okay, Google.
Hey, Google. Play some dance music.
Sure. This is fresh air. My guest will be
Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix.
Okay, Google, count to 100.
Sure. 1, 2, 3.
Play vacuum harmonica on my TV.
71, 72, 73.
Play the Wonder Woman trailer.
Hey Google, talk to Domino's.
Talk to Lonely Planet.
Talk to Quora.
Show me my photos from last weekend.
Your car is parked at 22B. Today in the news.
Turn the living room lights on.
Okay, turning on the lights.
I'm back, baby.
Hey Google, drop a beat.
Flip a coin. Call Jill.
Set a timer. Talk to Headspace.
And then just for a moment, I'd like you to let go of any focus at all. Just let your mind do whatever it wants to do.
Done.
Hey Google, good night.
Turning off all the things. See you tomorrow.
Hey everyone. Last year at I/O, we introduced the Google Assistant, a way for you to have a conversation with Google to get things done in your world. Today, as Sundar mentioned, we're well on our way, with the Assistant available on over 100 million devices. Now, just as Google Search simplified the web and made it more useful for everyone, your Google Assistant simplifies all the technology in your life. You should be able to just express what you want throughout your day, and the right thing should happen. That's what the Google Assistant is all about. It's your own individual Google. Now, that video we saw really captures the momentum of this project. We've made such big strides, and there's so much more to talk about today. The Assistant is becoming even more conversational, always available wherever you need it, and ready to help get even more things done. First, we fundamentally believe that the Google Assistant should be hands down the easiest way to accomplish tasks, and that's through conversation. It comes so naturally to humans, and now Google is getting really good at conversation too. Almost 70% of requests to the Assistant are expressed in natural language, not the typical keywords that people type in a search box. And many requests are follow-ups that continue the conversation. We're really starting to crack the hard computer science challenge of conversationality by combining our strengths in speech recognition, natural language understanding, and contextual meaning. Now, recently we made the Assistant even more conversational, so each member of the family gets relevant responses just for them by asking with their own voice. And we're continuing to make interacting with your Assistant more natural. For example, it doesn't always feel comfortable to speak out loud to your Assistant. So today, we're adding the ability to type to your Assistant on the phone. Now, this is great when you're in a public place and you don't want to be overheard. The Assistant's also learning conversation beyond just words. With another person, it's really natural to talk about what you're looking at. Sundar spoke earlier about how AI and deep learning have led to tremendous strides in computer vision. Soon, with the smarts of Google Lens, your Assistant will be able to have a conversation about what you see. Now, this is really cool, and Ibrahim is here to help me show you a couple examples of what we'll launch in the coming months. So, last time I traveled to Osaka, I came across a line of people waiting to try something that smelled amazing. Now, I don't speak Japanese, so I couldn't read the sign out front. But Google Translate knows over 100 languages, and my Assistant will help with visual translation. I just tap the Google Lens icon, point the camera, and my Assistant can instantly translate them into English. And now I continue the conversation.
What does it look like?
These pictures should match.
All right, it looks pretty yummy. Now notice, I never had to type the name of the dish. My Assistant used visual context and answered my question conversationally. Let's look at another example. Some of the most tedious things I do on my phone stem from what I see. a business card I want to save, details from a receipt I need to track, and so on. With Google Lens, my assistant will be able to help with those kinds of tasks too. I love live music, and sometimes I see info for shows around town that look like fun. Now, I can just tap the Google Lens icon and point the camera at the venue's marquee. My assistant instantly recognizes what I'm looking at. Now, if I wanted to, I could tap to hear some of this band's songs, and my assistant offers other helpful suggestions right in the viewfinder. There's one to buy tickets from Ticketmaster and another to add the show to my calendar. With just a tap, my assistant adds the concert details to my schedule.
Saving event. Save Stone Foxes for May 17th at 9 p.m.
Awesome. My assistant helped me keep track of the event, so I won't miss the show, and I didn't have to open a bunch of apps or type anything. Thanks, Ibrahim. So that's how the assistant is getting better at conversation, by understanding language and voices, with new input choices, and with the power of Google Lens. Second, the assistant is becoming a more connected experience that's available everywhere you need help. From your living room to your morning jog, from your commute to errands around town, your assistant should know how to use all of your connected devices for your benefit. Now, we're making good progress in bringing the assistant to those 2 billion phones and other devices powered by Android, like TVs, wearables, and car systems. And today, I'm excited to announce that the Google Assistant is now available on the iPhone. So no matter what smartphone you use, you can now get help from the same smart assistant throughout the day, at home and on the go. The assistant brings together all your favorite Google features on the iPhone. Just ask to get package delivery details from Gmail, watch videos from your favorite YouTube creators, get answers from Google Search, and much more. You can even turn on the lights and heat up the house before you get home. Now, Android devices and iPhones are just part of the story. We think the assistant should be available on all kinds of devices where people might want to ask for help. The new Google Assistant SDK allows any device manufacturer to easily build the Google Assistant into whatever they're building. Speakers, toys, drink mixing robots, whatever crazy device all of you think up, now can incorporate the Google Assistant. Now, we're working with many of the world's best consumer brands and their suppliers, so keep an eye out for the badge that says Google Assistant built in when you do your holiday shopping this year. Now, obviously, another aspect of being useful to people everywhere is support for many languages. I'm excited to announce that starting this summer, the Google Assistant will begin rolling out in French, German, Brazilian Portuguese, and Japanese on both Android phones and iPhones. By the end of the year, we'll also support Italian, Spanish, and Korean. So that's how the assistant is becoming more conversational, and how it will be available in even more contexts. Finally, the assistant needs to be able to get all kinds of useful things done for people. You know, people sometimes ask if the assistant is just a new way to search. Now, of course, you can ask your assistant to get all sorts of answers from Google Search. But beyond finding information, users are also asking the assistant to do all sorts of things for them. Now, as you've already seen, the assistant can tap into capabilities across many Google apps and services. But Google's features are just part of the story. We also opened the assistant to third-party developers who are building some really useful integrations. I'll turn it over to Valerie to share more about how the developer platform is getting stronger.
Hi. Okay, so with the Actions on Google platform, it's been awesome to see how developers like you have been engaging with the Google Assistant. Like, honestly, you have built some really cool integrations. Like, I can ask Food Network about the recipe that's on TV right now. I can work out with Fitstar, ask CNBC about the news. Or my husband and I can play Name That Tune with Song Pop, which he is surprisingly good at. Until now. These experiences have been available through the Assistant on Google Home. But today, we're also bringing them to Android phones and iPhones. There's over 100 million devices on Android alone. So now people can get to Google features and third-party services from anywhere. And they can even pick up where they left off across devices. So not only are third-party integrations available in more places, they'll be able to do more. Starting today, Actions on Google will be supporting transactions. It's a complete end-to-end solution for developers, including payments, identity, notifications, receipts, even account creation. The platform handles all the complexity. Let me show you how one will work.
Hi, how can I help?
I'd like delivery from Panera.
Hi, this is Panera. I'll need your delivery address. Which one can I get from Google?
We'll go with 1600 Amphitheater.
What can I get you started with?
I'll have the strawberry poppy seed salad with steak instead of chicken.
Got it. How about one of these cold drinks?
And here I can just swipe through my options, see what looks good. Agave lemonade.
Great. Are you ready to check out?
Yep.
Okay. The total is $18.40. Are you ready to place the order?
Yes. I'll just scan my fingerprint to pay with Google, and that's it.
Thanks. You're all set.
Yeah, super easy, like I was talking to someone at the store. So here I was a new Panera customer. I didn't have to install anything or create an account. You've also probably noticed I didn't have to enter my address or my credit card. I just saved those earlier with Google, and Panera used built-in platform calls to request the information. And I was in control over what I shared every step of the way. So, the developer platform is also getting much stronger for home automation integrations. Actions on Google can now support any smart home developer that wants to add conversational control. Today, over 70 smart home companies work with the Google Assistant. So now on my Google Home or from my phone, I can lock my front door with August locks, control a range of LG appliances, or check in on my son's room by putting the Nest Cam on TV. All right. Now that we're talking about making your home smarter, we also have a lot of news to share today about Google Home, our own smart speaker with the Google Assistant built in. Here to tell you more is Rishi Chandra.
Thanks, Valerie. You know, it's really hard to believe. We launched Google Home a little over 6 months ago, and we've been really busy ever since. Since launch, we've added 50 new features, including some of my favorites, like the support for Google Shopping, where I can use my voice to order items from Costco right to my front door. Or I can get step-by-step cooking instructions from over 5 million recipes. Or I can even play my favorite song just by using the lyrics. Now in April, we launched in the UK to some great reviews. And starting this summer, we're going to be launching in Canada, Australia, France, Germany, and Japan. And with support for multiple users, we can unlock the full potential of Google Home to offer a truly personal experience. So now you can schedule a meeting, set a reminder, or get your own daily briefing with My Day by using your own voice, and get your commute, your calendar appointments, and your news sources. Now today I'd like to share 4 new features we'll be rolling out over the coming months. So first, we're announcing support for proactive assistance coming to Google Home. Home is great at providing personally relevant information for you when you ask for it, but we think it'd be even more helpful if it can automatically notify you of those timely and important messages. And we do this by understanding the context of your daily life and proactively looking for that really helpful information and providing it for you in a hands-free way. So for example, let's say I'm relaxing and playing a game with the kids. Well, I can see that the Google Home lights just turned on. Hey Google, what's up?
Hi, Rishi. Traffic's heavy right now, so you'll need to leave in 14 minutes to get to Shoreline Athletic Fields by 3:30 p.m.
That's pretty nice. The assistant saw the game coming up on my calendar and got my attention because I had to leave earlier than normal. So now my daughter can make it to that soccer game right on time. Now we're going to start simple with really important messages like reminders, traffic delays, and flight status changes. And with multiple user support, you'll have the ability to control the type of proactive notifications you want over time. All right, second, another really common activity we do in the home today is communicate with others. And a phone call is still the easiest way to reach someone. So today, I'm excited to announce hands-free calling coming to Google Home. It's really simple to use. Just ask the Google Assistant to make a call, and we'll connect you. You can call any landline or mobile number in the US or Canada completely free. And it's all done in a hands-free way. For example, let's say I forgot to call my mom on Mother's Day. Well, now I can call her while I'm scrambling to get the kids ready for school in the morning. I just need to say, hey, Google, call Mom.
Sure, calling Mom.
So you're finally calling. Mother's Day was 3 days ago.
Yeah, sorry about that. They made me rehearse for I.O. on Mother's Day. Speaking of which, you're on stage right now. Say hi to everyone.
Oh, hi, everyone.
So hopefully this makes up for not calling, right?
No, it doesn't. You still need to visit and bring flowers.
Okay, I'm on it. Bye.
Bye.
It's that simple. We're just making a standard phone call through Google Home. So my mom didn't need to learn anything new. She just needed to answer her phone. There's no additional setup, apps, or even phone required. And since the assistant recognized my voice, we called my mom. If my wife had asked, we would have called her mom. We can personalize calling just like everything else. And now anyone in the home can call friends, family, even businesses. Maybe even a local florist to get some flowers for your mom. Now by default, we're going to call it with a private number. But you also have the option to link your mobile number to the Google Assistant. And we'll use that number whenever we recognize your voice. So whoever you call, let's know it's coming from you. Now we're rolling out hands-free calling in the US to all existing Google Home devices over the next few months. It's the ultimate hands-free speakerphone. No setup required, call anyone, including personal contacts or businesses, and even dial out with their personal number when we detect your voice. We can't wait for you to try it out. Okay, third, let's talk a little bit about entertainment. We designed Google Home to be a great speaker, one that you can put in any room in the house, or wirelessly connect to other Chromecast built-in speaker systems. Well, today we're announcing that Spotify, in addition to their subscription service, will be adding their free music service to Google Home. So it's even easier to play your Spotify playlist. We'll also be adding support for SoundCloud and Deezer, two of the largest global music services today. And these music services will join many of the others already available through the Assistant. And finally, we'll be adding Bluetooth support to all existing Google Home devices, so you can play any audio from your iOS or Android device. But Google Home can do much more than just audio. Last year, we launched the ability to use your voice to play YouTube, Netflix, and Google Photos right on your TV. And today, we're announcing additional partners, including HBO Now. So just say what you want to watch, and we'll play it for you, all in a hands-free way. With Google Home, we want to make it really easy to play your favorite entertainment. Okay, finally, I want to talk a little bit how we see the Assistant evolving to help you in a more visual way. Voice responses are great, but sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. So today, we're announcing support for visual responses with Google Home. Now to do that, we need a screen. Well, fortunately, many of us already have a ton of screens in our home today. Our phones, our tablets, even our TVs. The Google Assistant should smartly take advantage of all these different devices to provide you the best response on the right device. For example, with Google Home, I can easily get location information. Okay, Google, where's my next event?
Your Pokemon Go hike is at Rancho San Antonio Reserve.
It's for my kids.
At 11 a.m.
It's for my
today.
kids, relax. But if I want to view the directions, the best place to do it is on my phone. Well, soon you could just say, okay, Google, let's go.
All right, I'm sending the best route to your phone.
And we'll automatically notify your phone, whether it's Android or iOS, and take you straight to Google Maps. So you can glance at directions, interact with the map, or just start navigation. It's really simple. Now, TVs are another natural place to get help from the Google Assistant. And we have a great place to start with over 50 million Chromecast and Chromecast built-in devices. So today, we're announcing that we'll be updating Chromecast to show visual responses on your TV when you ask for help from Google Home. For example, I can now say, okay, Google, show my calendar for Saturday.
Showing it on your TV.
It'll show up right on the TV screen. I'll immediately get results from the Assistant. And since the Assistant detected my voice, we're showing my calendar. Others will see their calendar by using their voice. We can personalize the experience even on the TV. And you can continue to follow up the conversation. Looks like I have a biking trip to Santa Cruz. What's the weather in Santa Cruz this weekend?
This weekend in Santa Cruz, it will be clear and sunny most of the time.
So it's really easy and it's all hands-free. Your assistant can provide a visual response to a TV to a lot of different types of questions. We talked how easy it is to play what you want to watch on the TV screen. But what about those times you don't know what to watch? Well, soon you could just ask, hey Google, what's on YouTube?
Here you go.
And it'll show me my personalized results right on the TV screen. If I don't like any of the options, I can continue the conversation with my voice. Show my watch later list.
All right.
Play Send My Love.
Playing Send My Love from YouTube.
It's really simple. Again, no remotes or phone required. In a short conversation, I found something really interesting to watch using Google Home. I can even do it with other things. Okay, Google, what's on my DVR?
Here you go.
Here we're showing how it works with YouTube TV, a new live TV streaming service that gives you live sports and shows from popular TV networks. And YouTube TV includes a cloud DVR, so I can easily play my saved episodes. Play Modern Family.
Okay, playing Modern Family from YouTube TV.
You guys have it too easy nowadays. You can just lay around eating snacks saying, okay, Google, dim the kitchen lights.
Sure thing.
Go ahead, Dad.
Okay, Google, show me a video of a kangaroo playing badminton with a pirate.
Sure, playing on YouTube.
What?
I had a similar reaction the first time I saw it. Everything can be done in a hands-free way, all from the comfort of my couch. And over time, we're going to bring all those developer actions that Valerie already talked about right to the TV screen. So we do even more over time with Google Home. And when you're done, just say, OK, Google, turn off the TV.
Sure.
And that's our update for Google Home. Proactive assistance to bring important information to you at the right time. Simple and easy hands-free calling. More entertainment options, and evolving the assistant to provide visual responses in the home. Next up is Anil, who's going to talk about Google Photos.
Two years ago, we launched Google Photos with an audacious goal: to be the home for all your photos, automatically organized and brought to life so that you could easily share and save what matters. In doing so, we took a fundamentally different approach. We built a product from the ground up with AI at its core. And that's enabled us to do things in ways that only Google can. Like, when you're looking for that one photo you can't find, Google Photos organizes your library by people, places, and things. Simply type Anil Pineapple Hawaii and instantly find this gem. Or when you come home from vacation, overwhelmed by the hundreds of photos you took, Google Photos will give you an album curated with only the best shots, removing duplicates and blurry images. This is the secret ingredient behind Google Photos, and the momentum we've seen in these 2 short years is remarkable. As Sundar mentioned, we now have more than 500 million monthly active users, uploading more than 1.2 billion photos and videos per day. And today, I'm excited to show you 3 new features we're launching to make it even easier to send and receive the meaningful moments in your life. Now, at first glance, it might seem like photo sharing is a solved problem. After all, there's no shortage of apps out there that are great at keeping you and your friends and family connected. But we think there's still a big and different problem that needs to be addressed. Let me show you what I mean.
If there's one thing you know, it's that you're a great photographer. If there's a second thing you know, it's that you're kind of a terrible person.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. The only photo of the birthday girl in focus? Never sent it. The best picture of the entire wedding? Kept it to yourself. This masterpiece of your best friend? Well, you're gonna send it, but then you were like, oh, remember that sandwich? I love that sandwich. If only something could say, hey, Eric looks great in these. Do you want to send them to him? And you could be like, great idea. Well, it can. Wait, it can? Yep, with Google Photos.
So today, to make us all a little less terrible people, we're announcing suggested sharing. Because we've all been there, right? Like when you're taking that group photo and you insist that it be taken with your camera, because you know if it's not on your camera, you are never seeing that photo ever again. Now, thanks to the machine learning in Google Photos, we'll not only remind you so you don't forget to share, we'll even suggest the photos and people you should share with. In one tap, you're done. Let's have a look at suggested sharing in action. I'm once again joined on stage by my friend and Google Photos product lead, David Lieb. All right, so here are a bunch of photos Dave took while bowling with the team last weekend. He was too busy enjoying the moment, so he never got around to sharing them. But this time, Google Photos sent him a reminder via a notification and also by badging the new Sharing tab. The Sharing tab is where you're going to be able to find all of your Google Photos sharing activity, and at the top, your personal suggestions based on your sharing habits and what's most important to you. Here is the sharing suggestion that Dave got from his day bowling. Google Photos recognized this was a meaningful moment. It selected the right shots, and it figured out who he should send it to based on who was in the photos. In this case, it's Johnvi, Jason, and a few others who are also at the event. Dave can now review the photos selected, as well as update the recipients, or if he's happy with it, he can just tap send. And that's it. Google Photos will even send an SMS or an email to anyone who doesn't have the app, and that way everyone can view and save the full resolution photos even if they don't have Google Photos accounts. And because Google Photos sharing works on any device, including iOS, let's have a look at what Johnvi sees on her iPhone. She receives a notification, and tapping on it lets her quickly jump right into the album and look at all the photos that Dave has shared with her. But notice here at the bottom, she's asked to contribute the photos she took from the event, with Google Photos automatically identifying and suggesting the right ones. Johnvi can review the suggestions and then simply tap Add. Now all of these photos are finally pooled together in one place, and Dave gets some photos he's actually in. Which is great, because a home for all your photos really should include photos of you. Now, even though suggested sharing takes the work out of sharing, sometimes there's a special person in your life who you share just about everything with. Your partner, your best friend, your sibling. Wouldn't it be great if Google Photos automatically shared photos with that person? For example, I would love it if every photo I ever took of my kids was automatically shared with my wife. And that's why today we're also announcing shared libraries. Let me show you how it works. So here, we're now looking at my Google Photos account. From the menu, I now have the option to go ahead and share my library, which I'm going to go ahead and do with my wife, Jess. Importantly, I have complete control over which photos I automatically share. I can share them all, or I can share a subset, like only photos of the kids, or only photos from a certain date forward, like when we first met. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and share all. We did not meet today. And that's all there is to it. I've now gone ahead and shared my library with my wife, Jess. So let's switch to her phone to see what the experience looks like from her end. She receives a notification, and after accepting, she can now go to see all the photos that I've shared with her. We can access easily from the menu. If she sees something she likes, she can go ahead and select those photos and save them to her library. We'll even notify her periodically as I take new photos. Now, this is great, but what if Jess doesn't want to have to keep coming back to this view and checking if I shared new photos with her? She just wants every photo I take of her or the kids to automatically be saved to her library, just as if she took the photos herself. With shared libraries, she can do just that, choosing to auto-save photos of specific people. Now, anytime I take photos of her or the kids, without either of us having to do anything, they'll automatically appear in the main view of her app. Let me show you. Now, I couldn't justify pulling the kids out of school today just to have their photo taken, but I do have the next best thing. All right. Let me introduce you to Ava and Lily. All righty here. So I'm going to go ahead, take a photo with the girls. Smile, kids! Ah, fantastic. And since this is too good of an opportunity, I'm going to have to take one with all of you here, too, all right? There we go. Woo! Brilliant. All right. Okay, so thank you, girls. Much appreciated. Back to school we go. All right. So, using nothing more than the standard camera app on my phone, I've gone ahead and taken one photo with my kids and one photo with all of you here in the audience. Google Photos is going to back these two photos up. It's going to share them with Jess, and then it's going to recognize the photo that has kids in them and automatically save just that one to her library, like you can see right here. Now, finally, Jess and I can stop worrying about whose phone we're using to take the photos. All the photos of family are in my Google Photos app, and they automatically appear in hers too. And best of all, these family photos are part of both of our search results, and they're included in the great collages, movies, and other fun creations that Google Photos makes for us. But notice how only the photos with the kids showed up in Jess's main view. But because I shared my entire library with her, I can simply go to the menu, and Jess can now see all the photos, including the one with all of you. And that's how easy sharing can be in Google Photos. Spend less time worrying about sharing your memories and more time actually enjoying them. Suggested sharing and shared libraries will be rolling out on Android, iOS, and web in the coming weeks. Finally, we know sharing doesn't always happen through apps and screens. There's still something pretty special about looking at and even gathering around an actual printed photo. But printing photos and albums today is hard. You have to hunt across devices and accounts to find the right photos, select the best among the duplicates and blurry images, upload them to a printing service, and then arrange them across dozens of pages. It can take hours of sitting in front of a computer just to do one thing. Thankfully, our machine learning in Google Photos already does most of this work for you, and today we're bringing it all together with the launch of photo books. They're beautiful, high quality, with a clean and modern design, but the best part is that they're incredibly easy to make, even on your phone. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. I recently made a book for Jess on Mother's Day, and let me show you just how easy and fast that was. First, thanks to unlimited storage, all my life's moments are already here in Google Photos. No need to upload them to another website or app. Now, my favorite way to start a book is to use People Search. Since this is a Mother's Day gift, I'm going to simply find photos of Jess, Ava, and Lily. There they are. All right. I thought I took more photos. All right. So why don't we just go and pick another set of photos? Dave, if that one's not coming up, it'll be a fun Mother's Day gift for her. She'll get a different surprise. So I'll select a bunch of photos here. And the good news is, I don't have to figure out which are the right photos and which are the good ones, because this is where Google Photos really shines. I'm just going to go ahead and hit plus, select Photo Book. I'm going to pick a hardcover book. We offer both a soft cover and a hard cover. And notice what happens. Google Photos is going to pick the best photos for me automatically suggesting photo for this case. How awesome is that? And it's even going to go ahead and lay them all out for me. All that's left for me to do is make a couple of tweaks, check out, and in a few days, I'll end up with one of these beautiful printed photo books. And soon, we'll make it even easier to get started, applying machine learning to create personalized photo books you'll love. So when you go to Photo Books from the menu, you'll see pre-made books tailored just for you. Your trip to the Grand Canyon, time with your family during the holidays, or your pet, or even your kids' artwork, all easily customizable. We'll even notify you when there are new photo book suggestions. Photo books are available today in the US on photos.google.com, and they'll be rolling out on Android and iOS next week, and we'll be expanding to more countries soon. I am really excited about this launch, and I want all of you to be the first to try it out. And that's why everyone here at I/O will be receiving a free hardcover photo book. It's a great example of machine learning at work. So those are the 3 big updates related to sharing in Google Photos: suggested sharing, shared libraries, and photo books. 3 new features built from the ground up with AI at their core. I can't wait for all of you to try them out real soon. Now, before I go, I want to touch on what Sundar mentioned earlier, which is the way we're taking photos is changing. Instead of the occasional photo with friends and family, we now take 30 identical photos of a sunset. We're also taking different types of photos, not just photos to capture a personal memory, but as a way to get things done. Whiteboards we want to remember, receipts we need to file, books we'd like to read. And that's where Google Lens and its vision-based computing capabilities comes in. It can understand what's in an image and help you get things done. Scott showed how Google Lens in the Assistant can identify what you're looking at and help you on the fly. But what about after you've taken the photo? There are lots of photos you want to keep and then look back on later to learn more and take action. And for that, we're bringing Google Lens right into Google Photos. Let me show you. So let's say you took a trip to Chicago. There's some beautiful architecture there, and during your boat tour down the Chicago River, you took lots of photos. But it's hard to remember which building is which later on. Now, by activating Lens, you can identify some of the cool buildings in your photos, like the second tallest skyscraper in the US, Willis Tower. You can even pull up directions and get the hours for the view deck. And later, while visiting the Art Institute, you might take photos of a few paintings you really love. In one tap, you can learn more about the painting and the artist. And the screenshot that your friend sent you of that bike rental place, just activate Lens, and you can tap the phone number and make the call right from the photo. Lens will be rolling out in Google Photos later this year and will be continually improving the experience, so it recognizes even more objects and lets you do even more with them. And those are the updates for Google Photos. Now let's see what's next from YouTube.
Look at that. Oh my God. Go, go, go. Oh no!
Check this out. Open the hatch.
This is the world's highest pass. I got it, baby!
We are one species sharing one profoundly interconnected world.
Don't let them convince you that you're small, because a lot of small things coming together can do big things.
Love is love is love is love is love, cannot be killed or swept aside. Now fill the world with music, love, and pride.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to be here at my first ever I/O on behalf of YouTube. Thank you. So that opening video that we all just saw, that's a perfect glimpse into what makes YouTube so special, the incredible diversity of content. 1 billion people around the globe come to YouTube every month to watch videos from new and unique voices. And we're hard at work to make sure that we can reach the next billion viewers, which you'll hear about in a later I/O session today. We want to give everyone the opportunity to watch the content on YouTube. So YouTube is different from traditional media in a number of ways. First of all, YouTube is open. Anyone in the world can upload a video that everyone can watch. You can be a vlogger, broadcasting from your bedroom, a gamer, live streaming from your console, or a citizen journalist, documenting events live from your phone on the front lines. And what we've seen is that openness leads to important conversations that help shape society. From advancing LGBTQ rights, to highlighting the plight of refugees, to encouraging body positivity. And we've seen in our numbers that users really want to engage with this type of diverse content. We are proud that last year, we passed 1 billion hours a day being watched on YouTube, and our viewership is not slowing down. The second way that YouTube is different from traditional media is that it's not a one-way broadcast. It's a two-way conversation. Viewers interact directly with their favorite creators via comments, mobile live streaming, fan polls, animated GIFs, and VR. And these features enable viewers to come together and to build communities around their favorite content. So one of my favorite stories of a YouTube community is the Enable Network. A few years ago, an engineering professor named John Scholl saw a YouTube video about a carpenter who had lost 2 of his fingers. The carpenter worked with a colleague for over a year to build an affordable 3D printed prosthesis that would enable him to go back to work. They then applied this technology for a young boy who was born without any fingers. So inspired by this video, the professor posted a single comment on the video asking for volunteers with 3D printers to help print affordable prostheses. The network has since grown into a community of over 6,000 people who have designed, printed, and distributed these prosthetics to children in over 50 countries. So today, thousands of children have regained the ability to walk, touch, play, and all because of the one video, one comment, and that incredible YouTube community that formed to help. And that's just one example of the many passionate communities that are coming together on YouTube around video. So the third feature of this new medium is that video works on demand on any screen. Over 60% of our watch time now comes from mobile devices. But actually, our fastest growing screen isn't the one in your pocket. It's the one in your living room. Our watch time in our living room is growing at over 90% a year. So let's now welcome Sarah Ali, Head of Living Room Products, to the stage to talk about the latest features in the living room.
Thank you, Susan. So earlier today, you heard from Rishi about how people are watching YouTube on the TV via the Assistant. But another way people are enjoying video is through the YouTube app, which is available on over 500 million smart TVs, game consoles, and streaming devices. And that number continues to grow around the world. So when I think about why YouTube is so compelling in the living room, it isn't just about the size of the screen. It's about giving you an experience that TV just can't match. First, YouTube offers you the largest library of on-demand content. Second, our recommendations build channels and lineups based on your personal interests and what you enjoy watching. And third, it's a two-way interactive experience with features like voice control. And today, I'm super excited to announce that we are taking the interactive experience a step further by introducing 360 video in the YouTube app on the big screen. And you know that you can already watch 360 videos on your phone or in your Daydream headset, but soon you'll be able to feel like you're in the middle of the action, right from your couch and on the biggest screen you own. Now, one of my personal interests outside of work is to travel. And one place I'd love to visit is Alaska to check out the Northern Lights. So let's do a voice search. Aurora Borealis 360. Great, let's choose that first video. And now, using my TV remote, I'm able to pan around this video, checking out this awesome view from every single angle. Traveling is great, especially when I don't have to get on a flight, but 360 is now a brand new way to attend concerts. I didn't make it to Coachella, but here I can experience it like I was on stage. And to enhance the experience even further, we are also introducing Live 360 in the living room. Soon, you'll be able to witness moments and events as they unfold in a new, truly immersive way. So whether you have a Sony Android TV or an Xbox One console, soon you'll be able to explore 360 videos right from the comfort of your couch and along with your friends and family. And now, to help show you another way we're enabling interactivity, please join me in welcoming Barbara McDonald, who's the lead of something we call Super Chat.
Good morning, I/O, and to everybody on the live stream. As Susan mentioned, what makes YouTube special is the relationships that creators are able to foster with their fans. And one of the best ways to connect with your fans is to bring them live, behind the scenes of your videos, offering up can't-miss content. In the past year, the number of creators live streaming on YouTube has grown by 4x. This growth is awesome. And we want to do even more to deepen the connection between creators and their fans during live streams. That's why earlier this year, we rolled out a new feature called Super Chat. When a creator is live streaming, fans can purchase Super Chats, which are highlighted fun chat messages. Not only do fans love the recognition, but creators earn extra money from it. In the past 3 months since launch, we've been amazed by the different ways creators are using Super Chat. Even April, our favorite pregnant giraffe, who unfortunately could not be here with us today, has raised tens of thousands of dollars for her home, the Animal Adventure Park. But okay, we can clap for that. But enough talking for me. We are going to do a live stream right here, right now, to show all of you how Super Chat works. And to help me, I'm very excited to introduce top YouTube creators with 9 million subscribers and over 1 billion lifetime channel views on the grass back there, the Slow-Mo Guys.
Hello, everyone. Wow. Hey, happy to be here. How's it going?
It's great to have you. So let's pull up their live stream. And just look, chat is flying. Now, I love the Slow-Mo Guys, and I want to make sure that they see my message. So I'm going to Super Chat them. Pulled up the stream, and right from within live chat, I'm able to enter my message, select my amount, make the purchase, and send. Boom! See how much that message stands out? And it gets pinned to the top. It's cool, right?
Yeah, thanks, Barbara. It's actually lovely at the minute, although I feel like there's a high chance of showers.
Very local showers, like specifically to this stage.
Very sudden, yeah.
Ooh, I wonder. Well, because we know developers are incredibly creative, we wanted to see what you can do to make Super Chat even more interactive. So we've launched an API for it. And today, we're taking it to the next level with a new developer integration that triggers actions in the real world. This means that when a fan sends a Super Chat to a creator, things can happen in real life, such as turning the lights on or off in the creator's studio, flying a drone around, or pushing buttons on their toys and gadgets. The Slow-Mo guys are going to create their next slow motion video using Super Chat's API. We have now rigged things up so that when I send my next Super Chat, it will automatically trigger the lights and a big horn in this amphitheater, okay? And that is going to signal our friends back there on the lawn to unleash a truckload of water balloons at the Slow-Mo guys.
I'm scared.
Yeah. That's right. For every $1, we're going to take another balloon. So more money means more balloons. Although I did hear a guy over here go, oh, we're going to totally nail these guys. All right, that's got to be at least $4 right there. So yeah, each $1 donated goes to the cause that Susan mentioned earlier, the E-Enable Network.
Okay, so how much do you think we can send? I can start at $1 and go anywhere upwards from there. So it's for charity. How do we think 100? How's that sound? Okay, higher, 200? 200?
How about $500 for 500 balloons?
$500. I can do that. Okay. So I'm going to send my Super Chat and hit send. 500. Woo!
Oh! Oh, God! Oh! Yep. All right!
Keep going! It's 500!
It's finished! It's finished! Never ends! It's over!
That was amazing! Thank you, everybody, for your help. So this obviously just scratches the surface of what is possible using Super Chat's open APIs. And we are super excited to see what all of you will do with it next. So Susan, how about you come back out here and let's check out the video we've all made.
Wow. Thank you, Slow-Mo guys. Thank you, Barbara. I'm really happy to announce that YouTube is going to match the Slow-Mo guys Super Chat earnings from today 100x to make sure that we're supplying prosthetics to children in need around the world. So that 360 living room demo and the Super Chat demo, those are just two examples of how we are working to connect people around the globe together with video. Now, I hope that what you've seen today is that the future of media is a future of openness and diversity, a future filled with conversations and community, and a future that works across all screens. Together with creators, viewers, and partners, we are building the platform of that future. Thank you, I/O. And please welcome me and Dave Burke joining us to talk about Android.
Forevermore. You know your love keep on lifting.
everybody. It's great to be here at Google I/O 2017. As you can see, we found some new ways to hardware accelerate Android, this time with jetpacks. But seriously, 2 billion active devices is incredible. And that's just smartphones and tablets. We're also seeing new momentum in areas such as TVs and cars and watches and laptops and beyond. So let me take a moment and give you a quick update on how Android is doing in those areas. Android Wear 2.0 launched earlier this year with a new update for Android and iPhone users. And with new partners like Emporio Armani, Movado, and New Balance, we now enable 24 of the world's top watch brands. Android Auto, we've had 10x user growth since last year. It's supported by more than 300 car models and the Android Auto mobile app. And just this week, Audi and Volvo announced that their next generation nav systems will be powered by Android for a more seamless connected car experience. Android TV, we've partnered with over 100 cable operators and hardware manufacturers around the world. And we're now seeing 1 million device activations every 2 months. And there are more than 3,000 Android TV apps in the Play Store. This year, we're releasing a brand new launcher interface and bringing the Google Assistant to Android TV. Android Things previewed late last year, and already there are thousands of developers in over 60 countries using it to build connected devices with easy access to the Google Assistant, TensorFlow, and more. The full launch is coming later this year. Chromebooks comprise almost 60% of K-12 laptops sold in the US, and the momentum is growing globally. And now, with the added ability to run Android apps, you get to target laptops too. Now, of course, platforms are only as good as the apps they run. The Google Play ecosystem is more vibrant than ever. Android users installed a staggering 82 billion apps and games in the past year. That's 11 apps for every person on the planet. All right, so let's come back to smartphones, and the real reason I'm here is to talk about Android O. 2 months ago, we launched our very first developer preview, so you could kick the tires on some of the new APIs. And of course, it's very much a work in progress, but you can expect the release later this summer. Today, we want to walk you through 2 themes in O that we're excited about. The first is something we call fluid experiences. It's pretty incredible what you can do in a mobile phone today and how much we rely on them as computers in our pockets. But there are still certain things that are tough to do on a small screen. So we're doing a couple of features in O that we think will help with this, which I'll cover in just a moment. The second theme is something we call vitals. And the concept here is to keep vital system behavior in a healthy state so we can maximize the user's battery, performance, and reliability. So let's jump straight in and walk through 4 new fluid experiences with live demos done wirelessly. What could possibly go wrong? All right. These days, we do a lot at once on our phones, whether it's paying for groceries while reading a text message you just received, or looking up guitar chords while listening to a new song. But conventional multi-window techniques don't translate well to mobile. They're just too fiddly to set up with when you're on the go. We think picture-in-picture is the answer for many cases. So let's take a look. My kids recently asked me to build a lemonade stand, so I opened up YouTube, and I started researching DIY videos, and I found this one. Now, at the same time, I want to be able to jot down the materials I need to build for this lemonade stand. So to multitask, all I do is press the home button, and boom, I get picture-in-picture. You can think of it as a kind of automatic multi-window. I give it out of the way, I can launch Keep, I can add some more materials, so I know I need to get some wood glue, like so. Then when I'm done, I just simply swipe it away like that. It's brilliant. Picture-in-picture lets you do more with your phone. It works great when video calling with Duo. For example, maybe I need to check my calendar while planning a barbecue with friends. And there are lots of other great use cases. For example, picture-in-picture for maps navigation, or watching Netflix in the background, and a lot more. And we're also excited to see what you come up with for this feature. We're also making notification interactions more fluid for users. From the beginning, Android has really blazed a trail when it comes to its advanced notification system. In O, we're extending the reach of notifications with something we call notification dots. It's a new way for app developers to indicate that there's activity in their app and to drive engagement. So let's take a look. You'll notice that the Instagram app icon has a dot in it. And this is indicating that there's a notification associated with the app. So if I pull down the shade, sure enough, you can see there's a notification. In this case, someone's commented on a photo I'm tagged in. What's really cool is I can long press the app icon, and we now show the notification in place. One of the things I really like about the notification dot mechanism is that it works with zero effort from the app developer. We even extract the color of the dot from your icon. Oh, and you get to erase the icon by simply swiping the notification like that, so you're always in control. Another great feature in O that helps make your experience more fluid is autofill. Now, if you use Chrome, you're probably already familiar with autofill for quickly filling out a username and password or credit card information with a single tap. With O, we've extended autofill to apps. So let's say I'm setting up a new phone for the first time, and I open Twitter, and I want to log in. Now, because I use twitter.com all the time on Chrome, this system will automatically suggest my username. I can simply tap it, I get my password, and then, boom, I'm logged in. It's pretty awesome. Autofill takes the pain out of setting up a new phone or tablet. Once the user opts in, autofill will work for most applications. We also provide APIs for developers to customize autofill for their experience. I want to show you one more demo of how we're making Android more fluid by improving copy and paste. The feature is called Smart Text Selection. So let's take a look. In Android, you typically long press or double tap a word to select it. For example, I can open Gmail, I can start composing, and if I double tap the word byte, it gets selected like so. Now, we know from user studies that phone numbers are the most copy and pasted items. The second most common are named entities like businesses and people and places. In O, we're applying on-device machine learning, in this case a feed-forward neural network, to recognize these more complicated entities. So watch this. I can double tap anywhere on the phrase old coffee house, and all of it is select for me. No more fiddling around with text selection handles. It even works for addresses. So if I double tap on the address, all of it is selected. And what's more, there's more. What's more is the machine learning model classifies this as an address and automatically suggests maps, so I can get directions to it with a single click. And of course, it works as you expect for phone numbers. You get the phone dialer suggested. And for email addresses, you get Gmail suggested. All of this neural networking processing happens on device in real time and without any data leaving the device. It's pretty awesome. Now, on-device machine learning helps make your phone smarter. And we want to help you build experiences like what you just saw. So we're doing two things to help. First, I'm excited to announce that we're creating a specialized version of TensorFlow, Google's open source machine learning library, which we call TensorFlow Lite. It's a library for apps designed to be fast and small, yet still enabling state-of-the-art techniques like ConvNets and LSTMs. Second, we're introducing a new framework at Android to hardware accelerate neural computation. TensorFlow Lite will leverage a new neural network API to tap into silicon-specific accelerators. And over time, we expect to see DSPs specifically designed for neural network inference and training. We think these new capabilities will help power a next generation of on-device speech processing, visual search, augmented reality, and more. TensorFlow Lite will soon be part of the open source TensorFlow project, and the neural network API will be made available later in an update to O this year. OK, so that's a quick tour of some of the fluid experiences in O. Let's switch gears and talk about vitals. So to tell you more, I want to hand over to Steph, who's been instrumental in driving this project. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. OK, so all the features Dave talked about are cool. But we think your phone's foundations are even more important. Battery life, security, startup time, and stability. After all, if your battery dies at 4 p.m., none of the other features that Dave talked about really matter. So in O, we're investing in what we call vitals, keeping your phone secure and in a healthy state to maximize power and performance. We've invested in 3 foundational building blocks: security enhancements, OS optimizations, and tools to help developers build great apps. First, security. Android was built with security in mind from day one, with application sandboxing. As Android has matured, we've developed vast mobile security services. Now, we use machine learning to continuously comb apps uploaded to Play, flagging potentially harmful apps. Then, we scan over 50 billion apps every day, scanning every installed app on every connected device. And when we find a potentially harmful app, we disable it or remove it. Now, we found most Android users don't know these services come built in with Android devices with Play. So, for greater peace of mind, we're making them more visible and accessible, and doubling down on our commitment to security with the introduction of Google Play Protect. So here you can see Play Protect has recently scanned all your apps, no problems found. That's Google Play Protect. It's available out of the box on every Android device with Google Play. Second, OS optimizations. The single biggest visible change in O is boot time. On Pixel, for example, you'll find in most cases your boot time is now twice as fast. And we've made all apps faster by default. We did this through extensive changes to our runtime. Now, this is really cool stuff, like concurrent compacting garbage collection and code locality. But all you really need to know is that your apps will run faster and smoother. Take Google Sheets. Aggregate performance over a bunch of common actions is now over 2 times as fast. And that's all from the OS. There are no changes to the app. But we found apps could still have a huge impact on performance. Some apps were running in the background, and they were consuming tons of system resources, especially draining battery. So in O, we're adding wise limits to background location and background execution. These boundaries put sensible limits on usage. They're protecting battery life and freeing up memory. Now, our third theme is helping developers build great apps. And here, I want to speak directly to all the developers in the audience. Wouldn't it be cool if Android's engineering team could show you what causes performance issues? Today, we've launched Play console dashboards that analyze every app and pinpoint 6 top issues that cause battery drain, crashes, and slow UI. For each issue the app has, we show how many users are affected and provide guidance on the best way to fix. Now, imagine if developers could also have a powerful profiler to visualize what's happening inside the app. In Android Studio, we've also launched new unified profiling tools for network, memory, and CPU. So developers can now see everything on a unified timeline and then dive into each profiler. For example, on CPU, you can see every thread, you can look at the call stack and the time every call is taking, you can visualize where the CPU is going, and you can jump to the exact line of code. OK, so that's Android Vitals. How we're investing in your phone's foundational security and performance. Later today, you'll see Android's developer story from end to end. Our hard work to help developers build great apps at every stage, writing code, tuning, launching, and growing. But there is one more thing. One thing we think would be an incredible complement to this story, and it is one thing our team has never done for developers. We have never added a new programming language to Android, and today we're making Kotlin an officially supported language in Android. So, Kotlin is what our developer community has already asked for. It makes developers so much more productive. It is fully Android runtime compatible. It is totally interoperable with your existing code. It has fabulous IDE support, and it's mature and production ready from day one. We are also announcing our plans to partner with JetBrains, creating a foundation for Kotlin. I am so happy JetBrains CEO Max Shafarov is here today. This new language is wonderful, but we also thought we should increase our investment in our existing languages. So we're doing that too. Please join us at the developer keynote later today to hear our story from end to end. OK, so let's wrap up. There are tons more features in Android O, which we don't have time to go into today. Everything from redesigned settings to Project Treble, which is one of the biggest changes to the foundations of Android to date, to downloadable fonts with new emoji, and much more. If you want to try some of these features for yourself, and you do, I'm happy to announce we're making the first beta release of O available today. Head over to android.com/beta. But there's more. You probably thought we were done talking about Android O, but I'd like you to hear some more about Android, and from that, please welcome Samir. Thank you.
Thanks, Steph. Hi, everyone. From the beginning, Android's mission has been to bring the power of computing to everyone. And we've seen tremendous growth over the last few years, from the high-end to entry-level devices in countries like Indonesia, Brazil, and India. In fact, there are now more users of Android in India than there are in the US. And every minute, 7 Brazilians come online for the first time. Now, all this progress is amazing. For those of us who have a smartphone, we intuitively understand the profound impact that computing is having on our daily lives. And that's why our team gets so excited about how we can help bring this technology to everyone. So we took a step back to think about what it would take to get smartphones to more people. There are a few things that are clear. Devices would need to be more affordable, with entry-level prices dropping significantly. This means hardware that uses less power-packed processors and far less memory than on premium devices. But the hardware is only half the equation. The software also has to be tuned for users' needs around limited data connectivity and multilingual use. We learned a lot from our past efforts here with Project Svelte and KitKat and the original Android One program. But we felt like the time was right to take our investment to the next level. So today, I'm excited to give you a sneak peek into a new experience we're building for entry-level Android devices. Internally, we call it Android Go. Android Go focuses on 3 things. First, optimizing the latest release of Android to run smoothly on entry-level devices, starting with Android O. Second, a rebuilt set of Google apps that use less memory, storage space, and mobile data. And third, a version of the Play Store that contains the whole app catalog, but highlights the apps designed by all of you for the next billion users. And all 3 of these things will ship together as a single experience, starting on Android O devices with 1 GB or less of memory. Let's take a look at some of the things we're working on for Android Go. First, let's talk about the operating system. For manufacturers to make more affordable entry-level devices, the prices of their components have to come down. Let's take one example. Memory is an expensive component. So we're making a number of optimizations to the system UI and the kernel to allow an Android O device built with the Go configuration to run smoothly with as little as 512 megabytes to 1 GB of memory. Now, on-device performance is critical, but data costs and intermittent connectivity are also big challenges for users. One person put it best to me when she said, "Mobile data feels like currency," and she wanted more control over the way she spent it. So on these devices, we're putting data management front and center in quick settings. And we've created an API that carriers can integrate with, so you can see exactly how much prepaid data you have left and even top up right there on the device. But beyond the OS, the Google apps are also getting smarter about data. For example, on these devices, the Chrome Data Saver feature will be turned on by default. Data Saver transcodes content on the server and simplifies pages when you're on a slow connection. And now we're making the savings more visible here in the UI. In aggregate, this feature is saving users over 750 terabytes of data every day. I'm really excited that the YouTube team has designed a new app called YouTube Go for their users with limited data connectivity. Feedback on the new YouTube app has been phenomenal. And we're taking many of the lessons we've learned here and applying them to several of our Google apps. Let me show you some of the things I love about YouTube Go. First, there's a new preview experience, so you can get a sneak peek inside a video before you decide to spend your data to watch it. And when you're sure this is the video for you, you can select the streaming quality you want and see exactly how much mobile data that's going to cost you. But my favorite feature of YouTube Go is the ability to save videos while you're connected, so you can watch them later when you might not have access to data. And if you want to share any of those videos with a friend, you can use the built-in peer-to-peer sharing feature to connect two of your devices together directly and share the files across without using any of your mobile data at all. But beyond data management, the Google apps will also make it easier to seamlessly go between multiple languages, which is a really common use case for people coming online today. For example, Gboard now supports over 191 languages, including the recent addition of 22 Indian languages. And there's even a transliteration feature, which allows you to spell words phonetically on a QWERTY keyboard to type in your native language script. Now, Gboard is super cool, so I want to show it to you. I grew up in the US, so for any of my family that's watching, don't get too excited by the demo. I haven't learned Hindi yet, and I'm sorry, Mom. Okay. So let's say I want to send a quick note to my aunt in India. I can open up Allo, and using Gboard, I can type how it sounds phonetically, tum kaise ho, which means, how are you, in Hindi. And transliteration automatically gives me Hindi script. That's pretty cool. Now let's say I want to ask her how my IO speech is going, but I don't know how to say that in Hindi at all. I can use the built-in Google Translate feature to say, how is this going? And seamlessly, I get Hindi script, all built right into the keyboard. My family is apparently a tough audience, all right. While the Google apps are getting Goified, what has always propelled Android forward is the apps from all of you. And no surprise, many of our developer partners have optimized their apps already. So to better connect users with these experiences, we'll be highlighting them in the Play Store. One example is right here on Play's homepage. To be eligible for these new sections, we've published a set of best practices called Building for Billions, which includes recommendations we've seen make a big difference in the consumer experience. Things such as designing a useful offline state, reducing your APK size to less than 10 megabytes, and using GCM or Job Scheduler for better battery and memory performance. And also in Building for Billions, you'll find best practices for optimizing your web experience. We've seen developers build amazing things with new technology, such as progressive web apps. And we hope you can come to our developer keynote later today to learn a whole lot more. Okay, that was a quick walkthrough of some of the things coming in Android Go. Starting with Android O, all devices with 1 gigabyte of RAM or less will get the Go configuration. And going forward, every Android release will have a Go configuration. We'll be unveiling much more later this year, with the first devices shipping in 2018. We look forward to seeing what you'll build and how we can bring computing to the next several billion users. Next up, you'll be hearing from Clay on one of Google's newest platforms that we're really excited about, VR and AR. Thank you.
Thank you, Samir. So Sundar talked about how technologies like machine learning and conversational interfaces make computing more intuitive by enabling our computers to work more like we do. And we see VR and AR in the same light. They enable us to experience computing just as we experience the real world. Virtual reality can be transporting. You can experience not just what it's like to see someplace, but what it's like to really be there. And augmented reality uses your surroundings as context and puts computing into the real world. A lot has happened since Google I/O last year, and I'm excited to share a bit of what we've been up to. So let's start with VR. Last year we announced Daydream, our platform for mobile virtual reality. And then in October, to kickstart the Daydream ecosystem, we released Daydream View, a VR headset made by Google. It's super comfortable, it's really easy to use, and there's tons to do with it. You can play inside alternate worlds in games like virtual reality. You can see any part of our world with apps like Street View. and you can visit other worlds with apps like Hello Mars. There's already a great selection of Daydream phones out there, and we're working with partners to get Daydream on even more. First, I'm pleased that LG's next flagship phone, which launches later this year, will support Daydream. And there's another. I'm excited to announce that the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus will add Daydream support this summer with a software update. So Samsung, of course, they make many of the most popular phones in the world, and we're delighted to have them supporting Daydream. So great momentum in Daydream's first 6 months. Let's talk about what's next. So with Daydream, we showed that you can create high-quality mobile VR experiences with just a smartphone and a simple headset. And there are a lot of nice things about smartphone VR. It's easy. There aren't a bunch of cables and things to fuss with. You can choose from a bunch of great compatible phones. And of course, it's portable. You can throw your headset in a bag. We asked, how can we take the best parts of smartphone VR and create a kind of device with an even better experience? Well, I'm excited to announce that an entirely new kind of VR device is coming to Daydream, what we call standalone VR headsets. And we're working with partners to make them. So what's a standalone headset? Well, the idea is you have everything you need for VR built right into the headset itself. There's no cables, no phone, and certainly no big PC. And the whole device is designed just for VR. And that's cool for a couple of reasons. First, it's easy to use. Getting into VR is as easy as picking the thing up. And it's 1 step in 2 seconds. And second, presence. And by that, I mean really feeling like you're there. By building every part of the device specifically for VR, we've been able to optimize everything. The displays, the optics, the sensors, all to deliver a stronger sense of being transported. And nothing heightens the feeling of presence like precise tracking, how the headset tracks your movement. And we've dramatically improved tracking with a technology that we call WorldSense. So WorldSense enables what's known as positional tracking. With it, your view in the virtual world exactly matches your movement in the real world. And it works by using a handful of sensors on the device that look out into your surroundings. And that means it works anywhere. There's no setup, there's no cameras to install, and with it, you really feel like you're there. Now, just as we did with Daydream-ready smartphones, we're taking a platform approach with standalone headsets, working with partners to build some great devices. To start, we worked with Qualcomm to create a Daydream standalone headset reference design, a sort of device blueprint that partners can build from. And we're working closely with 2 amazing consumer electronics companies to build the first headsets. First, HTC, the company that created the Vive. We're excited about it too. They're a leader in VR, and we're delighted to be working with them on a standalone VR headset for Daydream. And second, Lenovo. We've been partners for years working together on Tango, and now we're excited to work with them on VR. These devices will start to come to market later this year. So that's the update on VR. Great momentum with apps, more Daydream-ready phones on the way, and a new category of devices that we think people are going to love. So let's turn to augmented reality. Now, a lot of us were introduced to the idea of AR last year with Pokemon Go. The app gave us a glimpse of AR, and it showed us just how cool it can be to have digital objects show up in our world. Well, we've been working in this space since 2013 with Tango, a sensing technology that enables devices to understand space more like we do. 2 years ago, in 2015, we released a developer kit. And last year, we shipped the first consumer-ready Tango phone. And I'm excited to announce that the 2nd generation Tango phone, the Asus ZenFone AR, will go on sale this summer. Now, looking at the slides, you may notice a trend. The devices are getting smaller, and you can imagine far more devices having this capability in the future. It's been awesome to see what developers have done with the technology. And one thing we've seen clearly is that AR is most powerful when it's tightly coupled to the real world, and the more precisely, the better. That's why we've been working with the Google Maps team on a service that can give devices access to very precise location information indoors. It's kind of like GPS, but instead of talking to satellites to figure out where it is, your phone looks for distinct visual features in the environment, and it triangulates with those. So you have GPS. We call this VPS, Google's Visual Positioning Service. And we think it's going to be incredibly useful in a whole bunch of places. For example, imagine you're at Lowe's, a home improvement store that has basically everything. And if you've been there, you know it's really big. And we've all had that moment when you're struggling to find that one weird random screwdriver thing. Well, imagine in the future, your phone could just take you to that exact screwdriver and point it out to you on the shelf. Turns out we can do this with VPS. And let me show you how. And this is working today. So here we are walking down an aisle at Lowe's, and the phone will find these key visual feature points, which you can see there in yellow. And by comparing the feature points against previously observed ones, those colorful dots in the back, the phone can figure out exactly where it is in space, down to within a few centimeters. So GPS can get you to the door, and then VPS can get you to the exact item that you're looking for. Further out, imagine what this technology could mean to people with impaired vision, for example. VPS in an audio-based interface could transform how they make their way through the world. And it combines so many things that Google is good at: mapping, computer vision, distributed computing. And we think precise location will be critical for camera-based interfaces. So VPS will be one of the core capabilities of Google Lens. We're really excited about the possibilities here. So last thing I wanted to share is something that we've been working on that brings many of these capabilities together in a really important area, and that's education. 2 years ago, we launched Expeditions, which is a tool for teachers to take their classes on virtual reality field trips, and 2 million students have used it. Today, we're excited to announce that we're adding a new capability to Expeditions, AR mode, which enables kind of the ultimate show and tell right in the classroom. If we could roll the video, please.
All right, who wants to see a volcano? 3, 2, 1. Look at that lava, look at that smoke coming out of that.
Pretend you're an airplane and fly over the tornado.
That's the top of it.
What do you see?
It's either asteroids, meteorites.
We're learning about DNA and genes, things that we can't see. And so the most exciting thing for me with the AR technology was that I could see kids get an aha moment that I couldn't get by just telling them about it.
The minute I saw it pop up on the screen, it made me want to get up and walk to it.
We actually get to turn around and look at things from all angles, so it gave us a nice perspective.
See if you can figure out what that might be based on what you know about the respiratory system.
I got to see where the alveoli branched off, and I could look inside them and see how everything worked, which I never saw before, and it was really, really cool.
We're just delighted with the response we're seeing so far, and we'll be rolling this out later in the year. So, VR and AR, two different flavors of what you might call immersive computing, computing that works more like we do. We think that's a big idea. And in time, we see VR and AR changing how we work and play, live, and learn. And all that I talked about here, these are just the first steps. But we can see where all of this goes, and we're incredibly excited about what's ahead. Thanks so much. Back to Sundar.
We wanted to make machine learning an open source project so that everyone outside of Google could use the same system we're using inside Google.
It's incredible when you open source platform and you see what people can do on top of it. We're really excited about the momentum behind TensorFlow. It's already the most popular ML repository on GitHub, and we're going to push it further. We're also announcing the TensorFlow Research Cloud, we are giving away 1,000 cloud TPUs, which is 180 petaflops of computing, to academics and researchers for free so that they can do more stuff with it. I'm always amazed by the stories I hear from developers when I meet them. I want to highlight one young developer today, Abu Qadir from Chicago. He's used TensorFlow to help improve health for everyone. Let's take a look.
My name is Abu. I am a high school student, 17 years old. My freshman year, I remember Googling machine learning. Had no clue what it meant. That's the really cool thing about the internet, is that someone's already doing it, so you can just YouTube it and it's right there. The minute I really saw what machine learning can do, it kind of like hit something within me, this like need to build things to help people. My parents are immigrants from Afghanistan. It's not easy coming in. The only reason we made it through some of the times that we did was because people showed acts of kindness. Seeing that at an early age was enough for me to understand that helping people always comes back to you.
How are you?
And then it kind of hit me in a way where I could actually genuinely help people. Mammograms are the cheapest imaging format there is. It's the most accessible to people all around the world. But one of the biggest problems that we see in breast cancer is misdiagnosis. So I decided I was going to build a system for early detection of breast cancer tumors that's accessible to everyone and that's more accurate. How was I going to do it? Machine learning. The biggest, most extensive resource that I've used is this platform called TensorFlow. I've spent so many hours going really deep into these open source libraries and just figuring out how it works. Eventually, I wrote a whole system that can help radiologists make their decisions. All right, ready? Yeah. I'm by no means a wizard at machine learning. I'm completely self-taught. I'm in high school. I YouTubed and just found my way through it. You don't know about that kid in Brazil that might have a groundbreaking idea, or that kid in Somalia. You don't know that they have these ideas, but if you can open source your tools, you can give them a little bit of hope that they can actually conquer what they're thinking of.
Abu started this as a school project, and he's continued to build it on his own. We are very, very fortunate to have Abu and his family here with us today. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy I/O. We've been talking about machine learning in terms of how it'll power new experiences in research. But it's also important we think about how this technology can have an immediate impact on people's lives by creating opportunities for economic empowerment. 46% of US employers say they face talent shortages and have issues filling open job positions, while job seekers may be looking for openings right next door. There is a big disconnect here. Just like we focused our contributions to teachers and students through Google for Education, we want to better connect employers and job seekers through a new initiative, Google for Jobs. Google for Jobs is our commitment to use our products to help people find work. It's a complex, multifaceted problem, but we've been investing a lot over the past year, and we've made significant progress. Last November, we announced the Cloud Jobs API. Think of it as a first fully end-to-end pre-trained vertical machine learning model through Google Cloud, which we give to employers. FedEx, Johnson & Johnson, HealthSouth, Carrier Builder, and we are expanding to many more employers. So in Johnson & Johnson's carrier side, they found that applicants were 18% more likely to apply to a job, suggesting the matching is working more efficiently. And so far, over 4.5 million people have interacted with this API. But as we started working on this, we realized the first step for many people when they start looking for a job is searching on Google. So it's like other search challenges we have worked in the past. So we built a new feature in search with the goal that no matter who you are or what kind of job you're looking for, you can find the job postings that are right for you. And as part of this effort, we worked hard to include jobs across experience and wage levels, including jobs that have traditionally been much harder to search and classify. Think retail jobs, hospitality jobs, etc. To do this well, we have worked with many partners: LinkedIn, Monster, Facebook, Career Builder, Glassdoor, and many more. So let's take a look at how it works. Let's say you come to Google and you start searching for retail jobs, and you're from Pittsburgh. We understand that. You can scroll down and click into this immersive experience, and we immediately start showing the most relevant jobs for you. And you can filter, you can choose full-time, and as you can see, you can drill down easily. I want to look at jobs which were posted in the past 3 days, so you can do that. Now you're looking at retail jobs in Pittsburgh posted within the last 3 days. You can also filter by job titles. It turns out employees and employers use many different terminologies. For example, retail could mean a store clerk, a sales representative, store manager. We use machine learning to cluster automatically, and so that we can bring all the relevant jobs for you. As you scroll through it, you will notice that we even show commute times. It turns out to be an important criteria for many people, and we'll soon add a filter for that as well. And if you find something that's of interest to you, so maybe the retail position in draws, and you can click on it, and you end up going to it right away, and you're one click away. You can scroll through, find more information if you want, and you're one click away from clicking and applying there. It's a powerful tool. We are addressing jobs of every skill level and experience level, and we are committed to making these tools work for everyone. As part of building it, we literally talk to hundreds of people. So whether you're in a community college looking for a barista job, a teacher who's relocating across the country and you want teaching jobs, or someone who's looking for work in construction, the product should do a great job of bringing that information to you. We are rolling this out in the US in the coming weeks, and then we are going to expand it to more countries in the future. I'm personally enthusiastic for this initiative because it addresses an important need and taps our core capabilities as a company, from searching and organizing information to AI and machine learning. It's been a busy morning. We've talked about this important shift from a mobile-first to an AI-first world. And we are driving it forward across all our products and platforms so that all of you can build powerful experiences for new users everywhere. It'll take all of us working together to bring the benefits of technology to everyone. I believe we are on the verge of solving some of the most important problems we face. That's our hope. Let's do it together. Thanks for your time today, and enjoy Google I/O.
All right, everybody. There you go. Google I/O 2017, at least the first keynote for the day. There'll be plenty of other workshops that are going on today and tomorrow. They're doing another keynote tomorrow, I believe, but we won't be here for that. But you guys, you can also actually watch directly on Google's own I/O page all the keynotes. They're broadcasting them as well, so you guys can check that out the next couple days. We saw a lot of stuff here. We know that you all saw a lot of stuff here as well. We're gonna stick around maybe for the next 15-20 minutes and talk about this, but we also want you all to call in the show and let us know what you thought, maybe things you liked. We will first talk about our thoughts on all these things, but the number down below, 1-888-900-CNET. That's 2638. Give us a call, and we'll jump on. Lexy, first impressions. How about let's start off with the highest things that you liked.
The things that I liked. Okay, so they did lead with the most interesting stuff,
I
think, which was Home Assistant coming to iOS. Big
Boom.
deal. Boom. That was interesting. And Google Lens. So this seems like a culmination of all of the things that Google's been working on for a long time. Like think Google Goggles, and image recognition, machine learning, everything coming together. So the demo they showed was that one that actually blew my mind. I think blew your mind too, Brian, was the Wi-Fi connection one. You hold your phone up with Lens on it in front of your Wi-Fi access code, password, and so on, and then it will automatically connect.
Like on that label, on that barcode label that's on your router. That was sick. And, in addition to that, just the fact that this whole Google Lens is integrated directly into the assistant just amps up the power and the level of detail and information, including using the GPS location, right? They showed a street front looked like somewhere like New York. And because it knew where you were and could identify the signage, it knew what restaurants you were looking at and was giving you like reviews and data on each of those as you panned. I mean, this is like next level stuff when we're talking about that. I'll let you continue, but yeah, I thought that was wild.
I agree. It's just like Shazam for objects. Seriously,
Good
when
Lord.
when you could put up the camera to a flower and it's like, oh, this is this particular variety of flower. I'm just going, okay. That's something that I probably don't need, but I think it will come incredibly handy for a lot of other things. This is, of course, going to be integrated into all of the other Google products like Google Photos, which there was a very long section about Google Photos.
Too long.
Let me just say that photo books are not interesting. I don't know if I'm the only one out there that thinks that way. Well, I've got a hands up over here.
I just had to jump in because, okay, I do like, look, there's Shutterfly, there are all these services out there. For them to say that it's hard to do it, it's not. But part of building a photo book is actually putting care into it, breaking down like why you put picture A, B, and C. What I saw that was a photo book for lazy people that are too busy, that don't give a crap. And I even tweeted, I'm like, oh, they forgot what makes a photo book important. This thing called love from
Where is the love, Google?
the
Where
heart.
is the love?
The heart. So it was like, could you imagine you as a lady?
As
your
a lady.
man's like, or whatever, you as a guy, whatever side of the coin you're on. Oh, I made this photo book for you. And it's a sequential event of photos. You didn't pick any of them. You let the machine do it. It laid it out and you just handed. That is so impersonal.
And on top of that, Google did all the photo editing for you, correcting everything and all of that.
I get it. If you want to, you think you're gonna impress someone that doesn't know what Google Photo Books is about, you might actually get away with it. I might give you props.
Totally.
But damn, like a photo book there's supposed to be some care and thought put into it. That's all. I'm just old school like that. I'm sorry.
I agree. I mean, also the other stuff that I was intrigued about that I don't think they really kind of eked out as much as I wanted was the whole conversational aspect coming to Home and the Assistant. I really just want to see that working because we've talked about this for quite some time. And I know it's being worked on in the behind the scenes, but it's been a year since last year's Google I/O when we first saw that. We saw a couple of different examples, having more natural conversation and also being able to type to the Assistant rather than use your voice. And calling coming to Google Home was another big one. It was a big like, take that, Amazon.
Yeah, I think that again, the Google Assistant is going next level. I think that you saw things that when you talk about other companies and how they're trying to integrate their Google Assistant, we already knew the Google Assistant was smarter than any AI. The whole Google Lens integration, they took it to the next level. And then in addition, with the Google Home leveraging the Assistant, they're starting to put all these pieces together in really interesting ways in, dare I say, the E-word ecosystem. Like could this be the beginning of the smartest ecosystem we have ever seen by a company? Like that's what it feels like and looks like they're getting there. So that's exciting. I mean, whatever they talk about, being able to, I don't really care per se as much of like, I'm watching TV and you can see things on the screen, but the way that it can talk and interact, call, recognize your voices, know your calendar, this is all stuff that's gonna be rolling out this year. And when we hear rumors about Apple making a smart speaker,
they've got a lot to live up to.
I'm
just put it that way. They got a lot to work.
If you're gonna come out with the Apple bravado, you better be careful about that right now. If you're gonna say it's got Siri and it can use your TV, it's not going to be, there's no way it's going to be as smart. This is one of those few keynotes by a tech company where you heard the N-word, neural, like machine learning, the M-word, like you hear it in so many places, but the proof is in the pudding. You can actually see how it exists. It's in the DNA now, and they're kind of really capturing that we are the smartest. Although, yes, we do give up our information, and there will always be this security cloud hanging over just how much does Google know? How much are we willing to give? And that's up to you personally, how much you're really willing to give to these tech companies, period. But man, the smartest company out there right now.
Totally.
Especially with what we saw with AI. I was impressed.
The AI stuff was really exciting to see. And also, it was a big attack on Amazon, really. There was a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, Amazon just released the Echo Show, the device with a screen in it. And then Google comes out and goes, well, we can kind of do that as well, but we don't need to release an entirely new device. Hey, we're just going to use our ecosystem. Like you said, Brian, we're going to use our Chromecast. So if you want to see results of something on the screen, well, there you go. If you want to use it on your phone, you can see something on your phone too. So really, they're doing something very clever. They don't need to kind of diversify their product range through hardware. They're trying to do that through software. And that's what Google's real strength is. Amazon's strength is definitely in the hardware.
Yeah.
And obviously their voice assistant, Alexa, working across all those devices. But Google's just basically going, why would you buy like a different device for every room in your house? You're just going to need one Google Home, and TV is going to be existing in your living room. Just add a Chromecast to it, and your phone, which you already have anyway, kind of goes with you from room to room. So there's no real point in buying a new device for every single room of your house.
Yeah, I think it's really... We'll talk more about other things we saw the keynote, things that we liked and maybe didn't like. We do have a phone call from our friend John in Michigan. I'm going to go to you in a second. And just remember, guys and gals, call us on the line. We're just going to hang around for a few more minutes just to talk about and wrap up the stuff from Google I.O. John, can you hear me, my man?
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for calling CNET Live and Google I.O. Lexy and Steven are in the house. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about?
Well, the one thing I want to talk about is the assistant and how it's going to change a lot of things in the next 5 to 10 years. You really think about it through different age groups. You know how easy it's going to be for elders to just kind of actually get the technology. It's like 1, 2, 3. These kids are already getting smarter as they go, like infants and whatnot. But imagine learning, Spanish at 4 or 5 years old, which is crazy in a sense that you can put the photo lens up, and then you can teach your kids. It's going to be totally interactive in the next 5, 10 years. It's going to be amazing. I think it's amazing in 2 different reasons, and it's just the education level that's gonna bring a higher pedestal to it. But not only these little podunk towns in rural states, Michigan, Missouri, all that stuff. That's going to create a lot of opportunities for a lot of people.
As long as they don't take, there's always kind of this whole thing of technology taking over jobs versus, but I think what you're more talking about is raising the education level and improving basically some knowledge and skills for those higher level jobs. Is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane to think that this technology has came in 5, 10 years, and it's just going to get a little bit better and better and better each generation. And I'm actually really happy for minorities and who don't have the capabilities of getting a great education. This stuff is really good.
I think you make a great point just of the accessibility. Let's even just talk about purely although we both felt that they didn't really need to spend time on YouTube in this keynote. It was almost like they didn't have any big announcements. So that's another point. But to get to your whole point about just technology, the democratization of media, and being able to have multiple voices from all different backgrounds, being able to be represented on a platform like YouTube, that is thanks to technology, right? And those are the types of things that you're talking about, being able to open that up for everyone. And that's kind of one of the beauties, right, of technology in general. Even when you talk about developing countries, all of a sudden getting something like, fiber plugged in there and being able to have a faster internet bandwidth than we do over here. Being able to, there's also the gap though, right? Some of the technology is so far ahead that you're leaving people in the dust. But I think overall, in general, technology has helped lift it up people in different ways. So I think there's always, no matter what, we're always going to have some level of marginalization, unfortunately, right? But access has improved, and no matter what, that's going to help. So thanks so much for your call, John. We really appreciate that.
Thanks, John.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, cool. Take care.
Hey, real quick, he talked about, elders being able to use this a lot easier. And someone in the chat room immediately said, we got Google Home for my grandma, and she refuses to use it. And my dad is the same way about our Echo Dot. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to talk around it, So there is there's a disconnection there with the older people and using this technology. So I'm curious to see how that's going to be implemented later,
I think to Lexy's point, the more conversational it is, the better. You know what? If you can find this actually, Beecham, while we're talking, SNL did an Amazon Echo skit.
Yes.
That just because we're talking about voice and AI, pull it up. We'll talk a little bit more about other things. It looks like we have someone online too, so I'm just going to take them right now. And if you're on the phone and you can hear me and you have your computer turned down, welcome to CNET Live. You're here with Brian, Lexy, and Steven. What's up?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? What's your name?
Oh wow, they really punched me through. That's cool. Hey, I was tripping out about how Google Assistant is now in the iPhone.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it seems like Google can see that Apple's struggling, and they're like, well, you know what? Since our cell phone sales were down with the Pixel, let's just move in on Apple and take over Apple.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be let's take over Apple. I think Google's very smart with trying to kind of be platform agnostic, but at the same time be very Google and centric as well, to make sure that you're in the Google ecosystem, even if you're across platforms, because, you know, iOS users and Apple users are a very dedicated user base, and Apple is a massive company. And so it doesn't really make sense to ignore that user base, even though statistically there are less iPhones in use than Android phones in the world. So Google's very clever in making sure that all of its ways it's trying to talk to people, and through all the apps that it has, that it's trying to reach as many platforms as possible. Because if you think about it, most people on iOS are probably going to be using Google as their primary search engine anyway. And most people probably have a Gmail account. So it makes sense to have a lot of the functionality available so you can go cross-device. Not necessarily that iOS users are going to end up migrating to Android. That's probably pretty unlikely unless you're constantly looking for kind of the best hardware all the time. But I think it's a really great idea that Google's decided to make sure that it's got the ability to reach users everywhere that they are, not just on Android specifically.
Yeah. Well, I love the Apple hardware, but the ecosystem drives me nuts. But if they came out with like a Google Play Edition iPhone, I would be on point.
That is the holy grail. That is the holy grail, like right there, right? Like, come on, but you know, we can all dream.
Super sneaky, and they're not going to say, "Oh, we're taking over Apple," because it would just be this huge thing. So what they're doing is they're like, "Oh yeah, here, look, try our Google stuff through Apple." It's not like Apple's sharing Siri with Android, but sure enough, Android's sharing everything with Apple.
And let's be real, I don't think Android wants Siri. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on now. Like, hey guys, here's our Siri app, Android users. Not going to work out like that way.
Yeah, Google Assistant all the way. It's definitely insane, and it's a fun ride to watch. And I'm also interested in seeing a phone that has the like Tango, like Google, what is it? The VR Daydream.
Yeah.
Your camera be not covered, because the Google Daydream VR, it has a cover over the camera, but it'd be nice to be able to have a little window to see what's going on outside of your phone, so you can walk around and not bump into stuff.
Are you telling me you want to wear a VR headset in public while walking around? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Let's just say, Starbucks, that'd be nice. I don't, just order my coffee and not have to worry about knocking over my muffin while I'm watching a video and looking like a tool.
Wait, you won't look like a tool with the VR headset on, right? Just knocking over your coffee is the problem, right?
I'm kidding. It's a cool. I'm noticing that. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to, because they're doing this whole AR VR merger thing, and so I'm surprised that they haven't come out with a phone that has the dual camera feature where you can see overlay. Because
it's coming,
these kids
bro.
they're walking around with their cell phone to their face all the time. Anyways, you might as well just wear it on your head.
It's coming. It is coming.
Yeah.
So, Christopher, thanks so much
freaky.
for calling, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. This is great.
Awesome. All right, have a great day.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
So
I got that SNL video.
Okay,
if
I
you
just
wanna watch
want
it.
because when we were time out, yeah, we'll show the video. We'll talk about a couple things and we'll wrap this up. But yeah, this is an SNL Echo video.
Alexa for help.
Alyssa, what time is it? What the hell is wrong with this blasted thing? Amanda!
But the latest technology isn't always easy to use for people of a certain age.
These kids done bought me a busted machine again. Odessa!
That's why Amazon partnered with AARP to present the new Amazon Echo Silver, the only smart speaker device designed specifically to be used by the greatest generation. It's super loud and responds to any name even remotely close to Alexa, so they can find out the weather.
Allegra, what is the weather outside?
It is 74 degrees and sunny.
Huh?
It is 74 degrees and sunny.
Where?
Outside.
What about it?
The temperature outside is 74 degrees and sunny.
I don't know about that.
The latest in sports.
That's good.
All right. Anyways, it's fun. Were there any other? Let's see. Highlight. We talked about assistant. We talked about the home. We talked about the machine learning. Lowlights were spending the YouTube part. It was like, I don't know. It didn't help move anything forward. They were pushing their super chat feature, which is like, yeah, super chat's there, but it's a monetized way of getting attention. I know they said, okay, fine, the money going here will be going to a great cause, but that's not always the case. It's not like every person who's doing a live stream is going to be like, oh yeah, this is all going to charity.
The idea is that creators are earning money from
Yes.
Super Chat, and you're getting donations from your viewers in order to promote your chats higher and higher up, so you can see. I don't know. Can we do Super Chat on the live stream?
We
Can
could.
anyone,
I was asking
anyone-
our chatters, and they're like, no way.
Oh,
Yeah,
like no.
No one wants to spend $5.
They're like,
Promote their
hey, read my comment.
Yeah,
for
please.
$5, please do that.
In terms of other things that were highlights from the keynote, I was really surprised that they kind of buried Android O all the way at the end, and we didn't find out what O was going to be called either. They didn't even announce a naming
They
competition.
didn't even joke about it.
They didn't
like,
joke about it at
right?
all, and there was so many double entendres in innuendo
Yeah,
throughout with the naming.
Yeah,
It was
we
just,
had
well,
we had a lot of stuff. We had Android O face.
Yeah.
We had fluid experiences.
Yeah. All those things were in there. Oh,
Yeah, I thought they were gonna call the new VR standalone headset the Wet Dream instead of the Daydream, based on their track record from today. It was. What are you showing
No,
me?
I'm trying to white balance something. I'm not putting that.
I thought why are you getting out the Kleenexes and why is he pulling out the Kleenex and paper towels right now?
I was white balancing the camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's
Is that
how you
better?
write
That's better. Okay.
Anyways, that's how you know we're pretty much wrapped up. So, anyways, there you go. There you have it. Google I/O, lot of great things that were really interesting. The top first half was probably was all the sweet stuff. But get ready. Also, they talked about kind of the Android Go, which is the scaled down version that will match future versions of Android for kind of entry level phones. That's an initiative, right, for developing countries or entry level phones to get Android on there. But we will let you know everything else that's going on. We have people on site. They're breaking down what they saw. There's demos. We'll have all the coverage here at CNET.com. And so until next time, I think our next keynote will be June 5th.
WWDC.
Which will be WWDC with Apple. Uh-oh. Will they be dropping good apples or bad apples? We're going to find out. So Lexy, thanks so much for hanging with us.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, everyone.
Mr. Beecham.
Thank you guys all for watching. It's been fun.
It's been real. All right. We will see you guys on June the 5th. Stick here, CNET.com for all the stuff coming forward. And we'll catch you guys in a couple more weeks. All right. Peace.
Bye.
Take care.